Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to baseball here on youtube.com/ShotOsaurusRex. I'm Sean. Still working out the kinks with the restream thing. We're live on both YouTube and Twitch for the rest of the regular season and the playoffs and, maybe into the future. We'll see. Welcome on in. It's July 1st of the 2011 season. We are down to the final 4 days. So get excited about that. Thank you for joining me tonight. I don't usually stream on Saturdays, but I had some dinner plans last night. And so I'm streaming on a Saturday, and we'll be doing. If you're a veteran of the stream, if you're new, we're gonna be streaming a lot here over the next couple of weeks, trying to get this done and then getting excited and getting into the show 26 before the season. First pitch is off before the season gets started on the 26th of March. Let's jump into today's action. We have a couple of games that I handpicked: Angels and White Sox. The White Sox, they need to win to kind of stay alive. And then we have the Yankees and the Royals. Those are your second and third games of the day. The Royals, if they win, they clinch. Easy peasy. But they have to face the Yankees. We'll start with a wheel spin game and end with a wheel spin game. Rangers at Rays and the Tigers at the Twins. And let's jump into that now. Going over here. Bam. We're in our thing. We're doing that. Today's games. Rangers, Rays. Getting things started. Bing, bang, boom. We're ready. A lot of the interesting series start tomorrow. There's a lot of teams that don't play today. Not a lot to take a peek at as far as our selections were concerned. So we are. I think we're strictly AL today. Yeah, we are all AL today. There's a bunch of the NL series that are interesting tomorrow. And I guess the one NL series that I skipped, which was the Pirates and the Marlins. I passed on that one. Welcome on in. It's the Rangers. They're 31-47. The Tampa Bay Rays are 35-43. So, the least that these teams can do is make this relatively painless as far as these games are concerned. Hopefully everything's live okay on the channels. Texas Rangers lineup looks like this. Matt Kemp in center, Adam LaRoche, at first. Jay Bruce in right. Dan Ugla at second. Ian Stewart at third. Dan Johnson is the DH. Ian Desmond at the shortstop position. Mike Napoleon Dynamite is the catcher. And Milton Bradley. Probably the last time we'll call out Mike Napoleon Dynamite. I pronounced his name wrong the entire time. I think it's Napoli, I want to say. I think that's the correct way to phrase it, but hopefully he wouldn't be too upset with me having some fun. Because, we're not trying to insult. We're trying to have a good time. Chris Young is 7-6 with a 2.22 ERA. 15 games, 48.2 innings pitched, 46 hits, 13 walks, 30 strikeouts. That would be a horrible ratio if he was looking that bad. Let's see. We good? Got this over here, but I don't know. The video player on that is really bad. It's just showing the starting soon screen. Everything good? Hold on, I'm going to mute my microphone. Wait, hold on. Pitch number 1. He is low and inside for a ball. We're underway here in Tampa Bay. Just double checking the audio. I guess I can always hit that live button. That's helpful. Okay. That pitch is inside for a ball. March Mascot Madness continues tomorrow at noon Pacific time here on the channel, so be sure to tune into that. And we'll be starting the playoffs here on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Oh, we bobbled it at short, and that's going to allow the runner to get to first base safely. So it's an error already for the Rays. That's not what you want to see. Most of the divisions are clinched. I think the only two, I think there are three that aren't. It's the NL West, the AL Central. Is it maybe just those two? I think maybe just 4 out of 6. We could have 5 out of 6 today, depending on the Royals result. Actually, if the White Sox lose, then the Royals would clinch the division, which means that Yankees Royals game all of a sudden is not super interesting. 1-0 outside. That makes it 2-0. After the error, he's got to dial it into the strike zone here. Get back into this count. And that'll be a swung on and missed. Initially, with the playoffs, I was going to follow the format of the playoffs. We were just going to go day by day, but that might take a little too long. So we're going to try and be a little more aggressive with the streams and the length of the streams, particularly in the divisional round. That is foul up the first base line. But I know that this game will absolutely... They'll have a game that goes on way too long, and it will ruin everything. So that's exciting. It's good to know that that's going to happen. That's fouled away. Foul ball. Making sure that I'm streaming under the right thing. I went and set up this whole... I set up a whole live stream, like, notification thing, and then it just decided to live stream in a different one. Swung on and missed. So let's see. As long as these are not in any kind of playlist. No playlist. No playlist. We can actually just delete them on the back end. That's fine. And that's fine. Swung on and missed. The wind and the pitch is high and outside for a ball. I gotta either figure out how the Ream stream works a little bit better or just not worry about the dual stream for right now. Dial it in. I don't like that YouTube on the back end does not play the video when I exit the screen that it's on. It just goes, oh, you'd like to pause here. And I'm like, no, I'd like you to keep running. That pitch is in for a strike on the outside. Two and two, a runner on first and one gone. That's rolled over to the first base side. Flips to second in time for the out, but not in time on the return. It's a nice play by the first baseman. I don't think there's any reason for the crowd to be booing. They should be cheering this nice kind of just flip around play. I mean, the pitcher was there. The runner just had a little extra speed. They avoid the double play, and Dan Ugla steps up. He's batting .274. See if he can get anything going. Oh, they're going to put the runner in motion down to second. The throw is going to get him. I don't know. Texas gets both the blessing and the curse of the MLB 11 animations. You can see he was faced the wrong way, pulled well off the bag. And what a great angle of that as he makes a miraculous spin for the tag out. One error for Tampa Bay, but everything all balances out. Tampa Bay is looking like this. Franklin Gutierrez and in center field. Kelly Johnson at second. Jason Worth in right. Brad Hopp at first. David Murphy in left. Mike Morse is the DH. Chris Johnson at third. Carlos Ruiz behind the dish. And Jack Wilson is the shortstop. Marlins legend Dan Ugla. Dan Ugla, please just take my photo so I can go do literally anything else. Ugla. I think we learned about Dan Ugla. Sounds like something we looked up. Jason Bergman. 5-8 with a 7.07 ERA, 15 games, 35.2 innings pitched, 51 hits, 17 walks, 23 strikeouts for him this season. Matt Kemp out there in center field. As we look at your Texas Rangers defensive lineup. Oh yes, I'd like to manage my dashboard mobily. Alright. Let's do that, this, that. As far as second baseman go, he was actually pretty good. Oh, okay. That is one pitch, one swing, one out. Nice play out in left field there for Texas. Just needed to slice it a little further away from the defender. Could have had a shot at a one pitch, one hit. One pitch, one swing, one hit. I forget. Did he play during the World Series years? I want to say his career started a little after that. Dan Ugla. No, he was late. That's right, because he played surprisingly late. He played 2015 was his last year. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, I remember looking at this. Marlins from 06, Braves, Giants, Nats. Okay. Oops. Swung on and missed. Always good to see you walk off. Hope you had a good Saturday. 1-2 is the count. One gone here for the Rays in the home half of the first. Tries to rip it up the third base line, but it is foul. That's upstairs. Giants in terms of defense, best half of the infield with Chapman and Adames. And the worst half of an infield with Arise and Devers. Oh boy. Well, get your pitchers. Ooh, that's a strike on the inside. Called strike 3. Sets him down for out number 2. I guess just tell your pitching staff to hit to the good side. So Devers is going to be the full-time first baseman. Jason Worth batting .336. He has 8 home runs, 26 RBI, a couple of stolen bases. The righty winds and fires. That's rolled over to the shortstop. Picks it up and fires to first in time for the out. That will do it. Ugla, Stewart, and Johnson coming up for the Texas Rangers in the top half of the second. No hits for either team, just the one error for Tampa Bay. Ugla's batting .274. Oh, look at that. A blazing home run or RBI pattern there. 4 home runs, 20 RBI. Hoping Devers takes some steps forward at first base. Yes, he'll be primary first base. Arise at second, though, scares me a little bit. Okay. Did I listen to their second base tier list on Wake and Jake? Because it's hard to give 100% attention at work, but I do kind of... I remember them saying something about, like, Arise at second base, he's not a second baseman, or doesn't feel like a second baseman. Let's see. Oh, their second base tier list is literally the next episode I need to listen to, so it must have something to do with the like, season previews or something. First baseman makes a dive at it, but can't come up with it. It's going to roll into right field for a hit. Ian Stewart. .333 average. Does have 1 home run. The righty winds and fires. That's going to be hit third base line, but foul. 0-1. And that's outside. Good eye. It'll be 1-1. Be interesting to see if Texas takes another stab at stealing a base. He hasn't been at second base for years, and the last time it was quite ugly indeed. Oh, okay. That's in for a strike. I mean, what would be the backup plan? Like, if you were in charge of this, safe at first. If you were in charge of this, what would you do? Who's the DH for the Giants? 1-2. Runner at first, and that's inside for a ball. 2-2. Let's see. Let's look at San Francisco Giants. Francisco Giants team. Roster. Oh, I want 2026. To second for 1, not in time at first for 2. Oh, this doesn't really tell me. Oh, that's pitchers, catchers, infielders, outfielders. Oh, they have Devers listed as a DH. Weird. I mean, I guess do you just hope that somebody comes alive in spring training? Platoonize? Is he making too much money for that to be a viable option? You trade him? I think you just got there. DH will most likely change a lot. 1-0 to the lefty. Rays defense can't pick up the double play. Just one gone. That one stays too high. Pitcher readies and fires the 2-0. It's going to be hit foul, first base side. Yeah, on a 1-year contract. Two and 1. Oh, that was a weird decision on his part. Oh my goodness, all he had to do was just get the ball to the man covering second base. The shortstop, it's only the top of the second, and he's already having a hell of a game. He has an error and a decision that led to just 1 out when there should have been 2. That should have ended the inning. All right, so 1 extra pitch, a hit, and the runner's going to just go to second, so in scoring position. Texas not really getting the air under the ball here. Maybe a trade halfway through the season if he's hitting in top form. Okay. I got to spin these wheels because they're driving me absolutely insane. So, 2 extra pitches. That one's in for a strike. Three extra pitches. That's a strike as well. 0-2. Four extra pitches. And okay, they're going to get out of it. Just 4 extra pitches and a hit. So nothing too terrible there, but I don't know. I don't think you really want anything going near the shortstop. He's the reason for the error, and then gives them a little bit of extra opportunity. Hop, Murphy, and the last guy, Morse. Morse is the third and final hitter of the inning. I read it a little late. Here's a wind in the pitch from the righty. It stays upstairs. Bottom 2, no score. Rays and Rangers. Both teams eliminated from playoff contention, but it's what the wheel spin gave us, so we will be thankful. And that's going to be lifted kind of off the end of the bat, it looked like. Right fielder comes in, waves everybody off, makes the catch. One gone here for the Rays. What was I going to look at? I was going to look at what time the Mariners play tomorrow. They play... Oh, at 12:10. Is that on Mariners TV? Is that a free game I get to watch? Rolled over, first base side, foul ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's going to be rolled into right field. Second baseman makes a good diving effort, but kind of over the top of it. You like seeing what you feel like is an athletic play, and then they just don't make it at all? Mike Morse. Okay, does Tampa Bay want to get aggressive on the base paths? Put their runner in motion. That is ripped foul. I think the nicest piece of contact we've seen this whole game was an out to left field for the Tampa Bay Rays. That's really the only thing that's gotten much air under it. Otherwise, it's been a lot of grounders that have gotten through the infield or poor defensive play by the Tampa Bay Rays that have allowed the Texas Rangers to stay a little longer. Stay at the plate a little longer. Here comes the 1-1. It's swung on and missed. The crowd cheers for the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is hit. Second baseman underhands to the shortstop, covering to second for one, over to first for two. Double play ends the second, and we're heading to the top of the third. Scoreless, Bradley, Kemp, and LaRoche for Texas. Milton Bradley's batting .274, 8 home runs, 19 RBI. No stolen bases. The wind and the pitch. Bradley takes a ball low, 1-0. That's upstairs for a ball, 2-0. Nice patient at bat here for Milton Bradley. $13 days to MLB The Show. 26. Be streaming all day that Friday. So come hang out. Here's the righty. He's going to give up. There's the nice piece of contact for Texas, but unfortunately it's a fly ball out to the left. Murphy makes the catch, number 7. Matt Kemp, 0 for 1 today, batting .263. Half a dozen home runs, a full dozen RBI. Nods his head in approval. Catcher readies. The righty winds and fires. It's going to be sliced foul. Foul ball. That did not have any air under it at all. That got out quick. Obliterating a fan's nachos. Here's the wind and the pitch. In for a strike. High and inside. Oh and 2. And that'll be rolled to the third baseman. He'll stand and fire. Quickly, 2 gone here for the Rangers in the top half of the third. I guess the positive is that this game has been going fairly quickly. Adam LaRoche 0 for 1 with a strikeout. See what LaRoche can do here with 2 outs. We'll send this first ball. Foul. That's a foul ball. Got to make sure it hits. I think that one destroyed a hot dog. 0-1. Readies and fires. That's on the outside edge for a strike. Oh and 2. That one's going to go third base side. Foul ball. That's a foul. Here comes the 0-2 outside, 1 and 2. Somebody make an umpire simulation game. Somebody get right on that. I'm surprised there aren't more of those. That is weak contact. With just, how many simulation games there are. Like Tavern Manager Simulator. TCG Card Shop Simulators floating around. The wind and the pitch. Fouled away. Ooh, maybe I'll play a little bit of that. The righty readies and fires. I opened up some cards today. Working on collecting the whole base set of the Topps Stadium or whatever it is. The MLB Stadium set. Stadium Club? What do they call it? I think I need 12 or 13 cards for that full 200. Which is kind of wild. Inside for a ball. Found a bunch of fat packs at GameStop today, so I bought 4 of those. Pitcher readies and fires, fouled away. And like the Stadium Club stuff has a bunch of like light blue variants or light lime green or hot pink or whatever it is. But I haven't pulled anybody that I would actually want the variant of. As that single rolls out to center field. Okay, so with 2 outs, they put a runner on first. Have you even Googled if there's an ump sim? Might already exist. Alright. You know what? I haven't. Umpire simulator. That's sliced. Elbow. Okay, Reddit. r/baseball. I made a video game where you play as an umpire 2 years ago. Hey guys, Google exists for a reason, so I don't have to sound like a freaking idiot on stream. This isn't what I want, but alright. Try the demo and get a taste for umpiring. Maintain your integrity to survive 3 innings and unlock power-ups to help the Hatters win. Plus, test your skills in a high-speed minigame that challenge you to make quicker calls. Correct call combo. I don't think there's any way that my computer would run this, but I guess it's good to know that that exists. Umpire Simulator. Steam community. You be the ump. So there's one that's like $3, but it kind of looks. Oh, actually, maybe this. Oh, it's in VR. Okay, I think this is what we want. It's a little more. At least more the idea. I don't know. 2018. Supports all VR headsets and non-VR play. You can make calls at 75 to 105 miles an hour. Bottom of the third, no score. Tampa Bay looking for a walk-off here in the first of our 4 games. Almost a really good start. Just pulled it a little too far foul. Oh, and 1. That's a rolled foul. That ball's foul. 0 and 2. The righty winds and fires. Oh, that's lifted out to right field. A little too far under it as it's skied for him to make the routine catch. Carlos Ruiz is batting .286, no home runs, but does have 10 RBIs with no stolen bases. What better time than to pick up your first? What better time to pick up your first home run than right now? Blech. Words. Outside for a ball. One ball, no strikes, and an out. That missed inside. A little surprising just based on how that's been for a while. But July is a new month. We've turned the calendar. Maybe the umpires have decided that enough. We're going to call that corner a little bit tighter. That'll be foul. Third base side. 2 and 1. That'll be rolled over to the shortstop. Stands and fires over to first in time. Playing MLB 06 on the PS2. Enjoy. That would also be on the PSP. Yeah, because that would come out in 2006. I think the PSP was 2005? When was that? PSP. PSP. Oh, 99.99 and okay. Well, that was not. We're going to the fourth. Neither of these teams can hit the ball. Sony system. Why is it so variant in its prices? That's not what we're worried about. What we want is Wikipedia. Rays are going to go to the bullpen and bring up Tim Burdick. 28 games, a 4-4 record. He has 3 saves with a 3.33 ERA. 27 innings pitched, 16 and 24 walks and strikeouts. The PSP released in December 12th, 2004 in Japan. North America, March 24th, 2005. The introductory price was $249.99. That is swung on and crushed foul. Best-selling game, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, 8 million copies. And the most bizarre decision that they could have made, only one analog stick. I would pay $100 for a PSP, but not a whole lot more. If this is the right version, System 1000, that is just foul. We've had a couple balls looking to get down, but they just drift out of play. I just swung on and missed. Oh, Liberty City Stories. Only a crisp $25. Okay, I don't need to start. I don't need to look at PSP stuff. I don't need to do it. Just late on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. I'll bring up Ian Stewart, who's 0 for 1. He's batting .330. Oh, I meant to look at that. 90 miles an hour, just late, four seam. It's pretty hittable location. Just couldn't catch up to it. Just even get a piece of it to stay alive at the plate. Uh-oh. 1-0. That's low for a ball. Here comes the 2-0 from the lefty. It is in for a strike. 2-1. The wind and the pitch is in for a strike. Now going to have to do battle here with 2 strikes. And he rips it foul to stay alive. Here's the lefty's pitch. It is way outside for ball 3. Good take there by the left-handed batter to not fall for that pitch that started on the outside and just kept getting further away from the plate. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. It'll be foul again. Three and 2. Second payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Sets him down swinging. Does a nice job to put up a fight and try to stay alive at the plate as long as he could, but it's another 4-seam at 90. Really early on that one. He's not left those in like... He has left those pitches in hittable locations, and the Texas batter's just a little too anxious that time. The previous batter was a little late on it. No ball. What? No balls, no strikes. That's typically how an at-bat starts. Lost track of what I was doing there a little bit. One and oh. I get so into telling you what the balls and strikes are. I just sometimes I blank that a new guy came up and it's just oh and oh. Yeah, hey man, thanks. That's how it goes. Hey, thanks, buddy. We really appreciate you. 2-0. And he's going to get the call on the outside edge. 2-1. It's a nice job. He thought about it, but held back. It's a better pitch. Just right on that edge. If you're the batter and you get a piece of it, you're not getting much of it. So just let it go by. Because then he'll throw one low. 3-1 now. That's a rolled foul. Foul. We're back to a full count here for the lefty. And again, the lefty for Texas. Foul ball. Fighting him off. Staying alive. Another payoff pitch on the way. Here's the wind. And he's going to lift this one into left. So does not get the strikeout for out number 3, but still gets out number 3. We're heading to the bottom of the 4th. Gutierrez, Johnson, and Worth. Tampa Bay with 1 hit, but they've sent the minimum up thanks to a double play. Franklin Gutierrez 0 for 1. Hey, maybe a good time for you to, knock another one out of the park. Maybe try to get us out of here. Have you thought about that? Bottom of the fourth. Oh. Here's the wind and the pitch, and Gutierrez takes a strike right at the top of the zone. 0-1. The wind and the pitch is high for a ball. 1-1. Good job by Gutierrez. He did a nice job, the pitcher did, of getting that first strike in. You don't want to be too aggressive, swinging at it, giving him a free strike. Let it ride through. You're probably not going to do a whole lot with it if if it's a ball. Best case scenario, but don't give them an easy out. Two and one. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is rolled to the shortstop. Scoops it cleanly and fires to first in time for the out. Kelly Johnson looking to maybe try and do some damage against the right-handed pitcher. Here's the righty's first pitch. It is low for a ball, 1-0. Whoops. I have clicked into way too many tabs here. Yeah, guess how many tabs you need open when you're streaming. Not about 15. That gets a strike on the outside edge. Okay, there we go. All set. 1-1. Welcome on in, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Part of your Saturday here on the channel. We're in the bottom of the fourth. No score. Oh, that is crushed. Out to center field. Does he have it? He does. Okay. All right. We don't get to have anything fun. It's not even a good pitching battle. It's just really, really bad offense. Every hit that's been a hit has been like a grounder. The best pieces of contact have been right into defenders' areas. There's a strike on the low outside corner. 0-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 1-1. 2 gone. Bottom of the fourth. And when he rolls it to first base. We're going to the fifth. I said it. I put it into the world when I was talking about, doing multiple games in a day for the playoffs, that something was going to go forever. I think even when I simmed this game to get all the thumbnails for the day, this one went long. And it's just like, come on. Somebody, accidentally just run into something on accident. You don't have to win on purpose. Wind and the pitch from the lefty. It's going to be a bunt. He's heading up the first base line. Safe. Yeah, he got there. I was looking at his little dot hustle up the line. The catcher took like an extra second. He's going to come up. He's going to hold on to it. Kind of does like a little double clutch. That is on the outside corner for a strike. So Texas, hey, doing a good job to put a little action out there, which I appreciate. Here's the wind and the pitch from the lefty. It is outside for a ball. And that is low for a ball. Pitcher working with a runner on. Nobody out. I like the bunt. Just give us something different to look at that isn't like, hey, here's a ground ball. And it's an out. Hey, here's a fly ball. It's an out. 3-1. Batters love swinging at a 3-1 pitch. And he does. Cracks it well, and it is a foul ball. 3-2. Another payoff pitch in this game. Big swing and a miss on the pitch outside. Oh my goodness. Yeesh. I mean, that was outside the whole way. Milton Bradley, he's 0 for 1. Strikeout's a good thing to pick up there for the Rays defense. Double play is still in order, would end the inning. The problem is their shortstop has not been playing particularly well. Bradley does a nice job. Take a ball outside. 1-0. The 1-0 is inside to make it 2-0. And that'll be hit toward the gap. Center fielder comes over, cuts it off. It'll hold the hitter to a single, but the runner would... Okay, I thought he said he was out. I got real confused there. But he was safe at third. So the go-ahead run on third base. The problem is that because it was a single, it's a nice job by the defense. Because it's a single, the double play is in order. But it won't matter. It'll get past a couple of diving defenders. Lead runner advances to second. It's an RBI single. We can applaud that. We can cheer for that. We can say yay. Thank God. Pitch missed low for a ball. 1-0. The wind and the pitch is going to be lifted out towards left field. Shortstop's coming over. They're going to call the infield fly rule. Okay. That's like a controversial playoff play. Cardinals? We have to get off. Cardinals, MLB infield fly playoffs. That's going to be rolled. Oh, this shortstop again. Oh, the left fielder's going to have a shot to take him out at the plate, and he doesn't. Are you kidding me? Oh, this game is so broken. Okay. First ever game in the new format. Disputed. 6-3. Oh, he's going to be... Oh, it didn't pause. I got distracted with the infield fly thing. I'm sure it had something to do with the throw was on time. The throw was on time. It was dead on. But I'm sure that the catcher caught it low, went back to that position up high, and then went down for the swipe. That should be... What? That should have been the end of the inning? Yeah, it should have been the end of the inning. Now it's 2-0 Texas. They'll take a pitch upstairs for a ball. Pop-up that dropped in shallow infield. The call put a damper on a would-be rally in the 8th and triggered a 19-minute delay as irate Braves fans littered the field. That is rolled. Third baseman comes up with it. Is he going to have time? Yes, he does. So it was what? The new playoff format. Infield fly her around the world. Oh, 2012. Oh, okay. Right? Yeah. Okay. It was longer ago than I thought, but I had the correct team. The Cardinals were involved. For some reason, I thought they were the home team, but it was the Braves. So this was the last year of the old playoff format with just one wild card team. Interesting. Would have been interesting if they had made the show 12, as that's down into center for a single. Would the PS2 version have applied that? Because this game really does not feel like a lot of attention was given to it. It doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about that because... it wasn't made. That's fouled away. Foul! That ball's foul! Clap, clap. Clap, clap. Clap, clap. Wind in, the pitch is lifted out towards right field. Right fielder is looking. It's off the top of the wall. It's going to be a run-scoring triple. Oh, God. We're going to go... This game is going to go forever. He just looked at it. He just stood there and was like, it'll come to me at some point. Mike Morse. He's 0 for 1 today. No. Nobody out. 2-run leads. I feel like they've been safer. But they are just not. Yeah, baseball playoffs used to start at the DS, basically. Yeah, that was wild to look at. Because I was like planning it in my head of like, okay, well we'll get the 1-game playoffs, and then we'll get into the playoffs, and then I did like a simulation of like a regular non-fantasy draft, like a separate thing, and then it was like, oh, it just starts in the division series. Like, oh, okay. That's in for a strike. A little surprised that pitch looked a little inside to me, but could just be the angle. Tying run at third, the winning run at the plate. The wind is in, and the hit is out toward left field. Runner went back to third just in case. It'll be a run-scoring single. Basketball's like half the teams in the playoffs. Yeah, it's a little much. It's actually, because of the play-in tournament, it's 2/3. Technically, 20 teams make the playoffs in the NBA. It's awful. So now the winning run on first base. There is nobody out here in the bottom half of, what are we, the 5th? The 6th? Bottom of the 5th. Here's the wind and the pitch. Lifted out towards center. Carlos Ruiz 0 for 1. God, they're gonna each score 2 runs in this 5th inning, and we're gonna be stuck here forever. Wind, and the pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That'll be hit. Oh my God. To second one. Oh my God. I don't know whose soul is crushed more by that double play. Mine or the teams that are playing. I don't understand this game. It's so dumb. Stupid Tampa Bay. Dan Meyer. He's coming in to pitch. Like that ball in the sandlot going to be stuck here forever. Forever. Tampa Bay will bring in the lefty. And it is a pitch for a strike. Oh, and 1. 2-2 here in the top of the 6th. Longest we've gone is 8. Happened a couple of times. Including one, I think the one that Kansas City won. That might have just gone 6, but there was one. Okay, sliding stop by the second baseman. Fires to first in time for the outs. 1 gone for Dan Johnson. He's 0 for 2. Batting .247 this season. 3 home runs. Nice little batch of RBIs. Lefty winds and fires. That's outside. One and up. That is right to the third baseman. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, Ian Desmond's 2 for 2. He has a couple singles and has scored a run. It's unfortunate that he's working with nobody on or anything. Instead, he just gets to face the lefty with 2 outs. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. Good take. 1-0. The 1-0. Too low for the... Too low. Ball 2. I don't know where I was going with that. 2-0. That'll be lifted. Ooh, he's going to have a 3 for 3 day. That's so exciting. He has 3 of the 8 hits for the Texas Rangers. And he gets on board with 2 away, so Texas is going to have to work a little 2-out magic here in the top of the 6th. Mike Napoleon Dynamite up next. 0 for 2 as a strikeout. And again, a 2-run lead is just not safe in this game the way that we have thought it was in the past, or had seemed to be in the past. That's in for a strike. I think Napoleon Dynamite would like another crack at that one. The 0-1. Ooh, he's going to put a charge into that one. That's going to get down off the right field wall. The runners will hold at second and third. Patrick Renna, the catch from the Sandlot, has a YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, that guy's awesome. He looks exactly like he did as a kid. He makes pretty funny videos. Yeah, I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. I have seen some of his shorts on Instagram. But yeah, it's kind of wild. Because like a lot of people, there's a good chunk of like child stars where you're like, oh, I kind of recognize you. Or like a lot of them where you're like, you don't seem like that's who you are now. That dude, you can see it. One and up. That's inside for a ball. It's mostly shorts. Yeah. I mean, that's the format on YouTube that they seem to be wanting to push. That's in for a strike on the outside. Oh my goodness. Not that I would ever disparage almighty YouTube. The lefty sets. Readies and fires. Ooh, that's going to get away. Nobody's going anywhere. They went to the third base side, and it's that super weird thing where the game just doesn't do 2 things at once usually. 3-1. If he's going to swing, this is where he's going to swing. Here's the pitch from the lefty. That is a 3-run, no doubter. The runner really sped home in that situation. I didn't expect him to just come hustling in. Wow, 398 majestic feet out to left field. That'll put the Texas Rangers up 5-2. Matt Kemp 1 for 3 with a single. It's all 2-out damage, by the way. Started with that guy who's now 3 for 3, and then you had Napoleon Dynamite. So they bring in the lefty. Ooh, my goodness. I don't know about that strike. They did bring the lefty in, and he can't get it done. He was close. Had a couple strikeouts. That one stays outside for a ball. Accurately called as such. That's in for a strike. Wind and the pitch is pulled foul. Third base side. 1-2. And that'll be lifted into center field. Center fielder comes in, makes the catch. And that will take care of it. Not before Texas drives in 3 thanks to the no doubt home run. Wilson, Gutierrez, and Johnson coming up for Tampa Bay to keep this game going. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just kind of let it die. Maybe an hour is more than enough time. I complimented this game too. I was like, man, at least it's going quick. And they said, yeah, we just won't get any hits. We'll continue to just not do anything interesting offensively. It does seem like 6 is typically the limit for this game, as we see the strike on the inside called. Almost like where that forces the action. That's lifted out to right. Oh boy. Okay. That was nearly a disaster. He started. It doesn't seem like they have any difference between walk and run. It's either you're walking at your slowest speed or you are sprinting. And that got a little weird out there because we've seen it every so often. It's fairly rare where they start in that and then kind of go into like a very like subtle walk and then they miss the ball. And you're like, ah, great. Foul ball. One slushy down. 0-1. That'll be lifted into left field. That one stayed up in the air a little bit longer. I thought that was going to get down for a single, but it's going to be out number 2. Milton Bradley making the catch out there. Kelly Johnson, last chance for the Tampa Bay Rays. Steps into the left-handed batter's box. Wind and the pitch is inside. Ball 1. That is low for a ball. 2-0. Inside for a ball. 3-0. I mean, hands off controller. If you're Tampa Bay, you got to let it go. He does not. He swings on a 3-0 pitch that the shortstop just ran away from. This game. It should have been a catch. I don't know. We should be done. Actually, it was way up in the air. Never mind. Actually, was it? We don't even get to look at it because of the friggin'... the bullpen. They're bringing in Jake McGee. 9 games with a 1-4 record. 1 save with a 5.63 ERA. 16 innings. 5 walks. 15 strikeouts. Jason Worth is 0 for 2 with 3.31 average. Because they went to the bullpen, we don't get to take a look at it and see if he could have caught it. There are times where the defenders just run out of the way of catches that they should have made or plays that they should have been able to get to. There's the wind and the pitch. Worth takes the pitch and down to second. He is safe. That's a bold strategy if you're trying to win this game. I know you're trying to put some pressure on the defense, put some action on the bases, but that's out number 3 and you lose. I mean, I win. We all win because we don't have to watch this game anymore, but at the same time, it's a weird way to get the final out of the game. The game, I don't think, knows that, though, so whatever. One and two. Runner on second, 5-2 game. Tying run on deck. That's rolled foul, third base side. Pitch gets away from the catcher, and the catcher will throw down to third. He's safe by a large margin. I'm not really sure what happened there. Looked like he had it, but whatever. It doesn't really do a whole lot. That run is kind of useless, honestly. I guess it's a funky situation for both teams, and that's the swing and the miss. That'll retire the side and end the game. Worth down on strikes. And the Texas Rangers win this one 5-2 in 6 innings. Jason Worth, after he retired and went and joined a regular old softball game in some city park, had just destroyed the ball into a huge home run. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 2 for 3 with a home run, 3 RBIs for Milton Bradley, the player of the game. Jason Bergman picks up the win. He improves to 6-8. Dan Meyer drops to 0-1 with the loss. Jake McGee picks up his second save, and it's Bradley's 9th. Of the season. Tampa Bay wins this series with fewer at-bats and a slightly better average. Fewer home runs. Weird. They also had to pitch 3 innings more. Which I guess makes sense if you're winning 3-1. Alright. 5-2. Rangers over the Rays. Oh, so the Rangers salvaged the series there. Gotcha. Okay. We are moving on. Angels, White Sox. White Sox need to win to stay alive. If they lose, they will give the division to the Royals, which the Royals will have an opportunity to clinch the division regardless. The White Sox, I think, they need to win out, and the Royals need to lose out. The Angels are still kind of in contention a little bit. So that's where things get kind of interesting there. But these next couple of games kind of are linked together. Not kind of, they are linked together. All right, that really did not want to load. Awesome. Welcome to Chicago. The 40-38 White Sox take it on the Los Angeles Angels, who are an even 39-39 from U.S. Cellular Field. 4 games left for each of these teams. Los Angeles Angels defense, or lineup, looks like this. Cameron Maybin out in center. Casey McGee at third. Adrian Gonzalez at first. Jim Thome is the DH. Ryan Ludwig in left. John Buck behind the dish. Ben Zobrist is in right. Felipe Lopez is the shortstop. And Ryan Roberts is your second baseman. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. If you are, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for more, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Starting pitcher for the Chicago White Sox is Rick Porcello. 10-3 with a 3.29 ERA, 15 games, 41 innings pitched, 46 hits, 9 walks, 23 strikeouts on the line for him. I think this is a guy you probably want on the mound in this situation. So we take a look at that White Sox defense. White Sox also chasing down the Athletics in the wild card, so a win here does them a lot of good. I think the Athletics are playing the Guardians again today. The wind and the pitch. We're underway here in Chicago with a strike from Porcello. 0-1. The righty winds and fires inside for a ball. Just imagine a former MLB player showing up at your just like casual whatever softball game. And he's like, I'm just going to destroy everything you love. Going to ruin this for everyone. Check out this 900-foot moonshot. Rolled to second. And throw was in time to first. Casey McGee, he's batting .321, 4 home runs on the season. The wind and the pitch fouled away. That ball's fair. 0-1. That is low for a ball. 1-1. I do wish the game would give us the E for like eliminated on the standings. That would be helpful. It's something that we get in the current games that we just don't get in these older games. But thankfully it does tell us, like, hey, they've clinched a playoff berth or the division or whatever. Wind and the pitch from the righty is going to be hit well out towards the gap. He's staring at it because it is gone, baby. It is 1-0 Angels. Okay. Uh-oh. You're a Chicago White Sox fan. Uh-oh. 419 feet. I appreciate just one of the teams putting on some runs, or putting some runs on the board. That's what I was trying to say. Before the 5th inning. That's very kind of them. Very thoughtful. Adrian Gonzalez. He's been, 367? I feel like I jinxed the team. I jinxed the Chicago White Sox. I said that they had a good pitcher on the mound for what they're trying to do with like a good record and a low ERA. Then I insulted the Angels for existing, and then the Angels kind of gave me the middle finger. If we're being honest, that's what they did. 1-0. The wind of the pitch is... That's a ball. Okay. Just a little bit low. 2-0. 1 gone. 1 run in already for the Angels, and that is a strike on the high outside corner. It's a good take. Best case scenario, 3-0. Worst case scenario, 2-1. Not a whole lot you're going to do with that if you swing at it. Probably just going to give them an easy out. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That's way upstairs to make it 3-1. The righty is ready. He winds and fires. That's at the knees for strike 2. Sometimes, a lot of the times, the batters are really aggressive in a 3-1 count, but also, we can't discount the fact that sometimes the strike zone gets weirdly wide. Creates a full count, and the payoff pitch is a walk. I don't know that he even took the bat off his shoulder during that at-bat. That pitch was nowhere near the zone, barely on the pitch track, expanded section. That is lifted out toward the gap. Center fielder comes over, makes the grab. The runner on first retreats. So the walk's still a problem, but 2 gone for the Angels here in the top half of the first. Sean spells his name correctly. Rodriguez is who they're highlighting. I'm not really sure why. I don't think he was involved in the play. He didn't make the catch. He just had the ball at the end. He's like, I did it. One on, 2 gone. 1-0 Angels. The wind and the pitch. He is outside for a ball. That he is in for a strike. One and one. The wind and the pitch. He is on the edge. The batter. That's one of the longer looks we've seen at an umpire from the batter. Just kind of. Are you serious? It's a 1-2 count. And he swings and misses at the pitch inside. A brutal strike 2 call. Felt like he kind of had his hand forced in that one. 1 hit for 1 run. Upton, well, I haven't introduced the lineup, but Los Angeles takes a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Let's get you introduced to the White Sox lineup. It's B.J. Upton, the center fielder. Maglio Ordonez in right. Albert Pujols at first. Manny Ramirez, a trade piece. Could be a very important trade piece as we work through the rest of this season if the White Sox can somehow get into the playoffs. He's out in left field. Ryan Rayburn's the DH. Scott Rowland's the third baseman. Yorvit Torrealba is the catcher. Sean spells his name correctly. Rodriguez at second. Jed Lowry at the shortstop position. And again, it's that Chicago White Sox. It is 8 out of 9 are right-handed hitters. And Jed Lowry, the lone switch hitter. Mike Leake, 8-7 with a 4.43 ERA. 15 games with 40.2 innings pitched. 43 hits, 17 walks, 20 strikeouts. For him. Los Angeles defense looks like this. Whatever's on your screen. Is it that way? This way? Yeah. Well, now it's not. B.J. Upton. He's batting .331. He's leading off for the White Sox. And he'll take a ball upstairs and outside. 1-0. And that's going to get the strike. That's the second batter that's kind of looked at the umpire going like, well, really? That's the zone that we're working with today? 1-1. And B.J. Upton will roll that one to second base. Fires to first in time. And that is out number 1. He really didn't need to swing at that pitch. It was a 1-1 count. The other one made a little more sense because it was strike 2. But Upton either lost patience or just got a little frustrated. But it's a bad swing and miss. Here's the wind of the pitch. It is inside. Looked like a strike to me, but you never know. Ordonez does not look at the umpire with disgust. Instead, he just takes the strike. 1-0. Or 0-1. Damn it. Ordonez. That's out toward the left. Does it have enough in the Windy City? It's going to at least get down on the warning track. He'll head to second. Stand-up double. It got weird out there by the wall. Tying run in scoring position. Go-ahead run at At the, what? At the plate. That's the word I'm looking for. At the home base. The home place. Albert Pujols stepping up. Wind and the pitch outside for a ball. Here comes the 1-0. It is outside. 2-0. See if Pujols can make some noise here in the bottom of the first. White Sox looking for a strike back inning after giving up the lead on, or the solo home run in the top half. Pujols will take that inside for a strike. It's right on the edge. It's either going to get jammed. They're just not really going to do a whole lot with it. 2-1. The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball. 3-1 now. The 3-1 and Pujols. He'll hit that to third, which is a little unfortunate because it's not even a productive out. At least if he could have shot it the other way, runner could have advanced to third base. Instead, he's stuck at second. Manny Ramirez is going to have to get something down into the outfield grass and hope that he can Baglio Ordonez, I believe, is who's on second. Yeah, it is Ordonez. Going to see how aggressive they're going to be. 2 out with a runner on second. Ramirez takes pitch number 1 for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. Low for a ball. 2-0. Sets and fires. Takes that for a strike. 2-1. Two outs, a runner on second. The pitch. Inside, good eye. 3-1. Weirdly enough, not the worst pitch count for a pitcher to be in. Just because of how aggressive the batters are. Except for, okay, alright. Well, that didn't work in my favor. Leak issues a walk, and it'll be 2 on with 2 gone. It's a really good patient at bat. It's just off the outside. I think there'd be a helmet tap. I think you might see it overturned. 3-2. But we're stuck back in 2011 on the PlayStation 2. He says like someone made him do this. It wasn't just him going, this was a good idea. 2 on, 2 out. Next batter up takes a ball. It's Ryan Rayburn. 3-2-1 with 2 home runs. One and out. That's upstairs for a ball. That's upstairs for a ball. I mean, 3-0, got to be hands-off controller here. How aggressive does Rayburn get? Oh, he's going to get aggressive. That's going to plate a run. 1-1. It's going to be a stand-up double. The throw is into the cutoff man. If it was into third, might have been able to pick up out number 3. That would have been interesting because we haven't had like a third out compared to like did they score all season. But a little 2 out. A little 2 out damage there for the White Sox, who have 2 more runners in scoring position. It's going to be up to this guy, whose name I very clearly remember. Scott Rowland. I said it. I knew it. I didn't have to look at anything. Scott Rowland. He'll take strike number 1. 0-1. 2 on, 2 out. Rowland lets that one go a little further outside. 1-1. That is fouled back to the backstop. That's fouled away. Not really sure how he got to that one, but okay. That was a little funky. 1-2. The wind and the pitch is going to get away. Everybody's going to dive back safely. Leak having a lot of trouble getting out number 3 here for the Angels. Two and 2 with 2 gone. 2 on. The wind and the pitch, and that's outside for a ball. That's a bit of a dangerous take. I mean, you don't want to be called out on strikes on a pitch off the plate, which this game kind of does. It does fill up the count. 3-2. The wind, the pitch, and ball number 4. So the bases are loaded via the walk. See, he hustles down to first like he has to beat the throw. Yorvit Torrealba, batting .329, 3 home runs, 16 RBI. What can he do with some runners in scoring position? The wind, the pitch, one swing, a sliding stop, throw to first in time. And that'll do it. Chicago threatens to take the lead, but all they can do is tie. It's 1-1. Bucks, Zobrist, and Lopez coming up for the Angels. John Buck steps up. I mean, it's a good strike back inning for the White Sox. Just think you would like to see them try to, not try. You'd like to have seen them score more. Oh, and 1. So a good start there for Porcello as he gets ahead of this batter, who swings at pitch number 2 and quickly 0-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in the dirt for a ball. Good patience there for the Angels batter. Don't want to be out on a, kind of cutesy curve. 1-2. The count now. That one stayed outside to make it 2-2. Gets him to swing at the miss at the high fastball. Hits that high inside corner and early. 93 miles an hour early on the swing. That forced him in a nice location for strike number 3. One away for the Angels to bring up Ben Zobrist, batting .253. 5 home runs, 19 RBI, and a stolen base. That is in for a strike. Gets that inside edge. Here comes the 0-1. That is rolled. Oh, right back to the pitcher who makes that. Oh my goodness. Makes kind of a nice spin grab and then really threw that hard toward first base. That feels like an animation where the game was rolling the dice in the background and then okay, you're out, but very easily one of those die go the wrong way and that's sailed into who knows where. Two outs here in the top of the second. That pitch stays upstairs for a ball, 1-0. That is low for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's low for a ball. 3-0. I mean, hands-off controller. He hasn't found the zone at all. The wind, the pitch, inside. A 4-pitch walk. That one just missed inside. No break on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Didn't really ever look like it was tempting at any point. Ryan Roberts is batting .318, no home runs, 8 RBI, 2 stolen bases on the season. Angels have a little 2-out magic in them here in the top of the second. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 foul ball. 0-1. That is going to be lifted out towards center field. They do not have any 2-out magic in them this time around, as the center fielder makes the catch for out number 3. Rodriguez, Lowry, and Upton as the lineup will flip over for the White Sox, who loaded the bases in the bottom of the first but couldn't come up with more than just the 1 run. Let's see what they have for us here in the second. Sean spells his name correctly. Rodriguez will get things led off, batting .231, 2 home runs, 8 RBI, no stolen bases. First pitch is in for a strike. Here's the righty's next pitch. It's outside for a ball. 1-1. The 1-1. Fouled away. 1-2 now. Bottom of the second. 1-1 game. We were in Tampa Bay for quite a while, so foul up the first base line. 1-2. Thought about it. No appeal down to first. It'll be a ball outside. 2-2. That just misses inside. And that's lifted out towards center field. Center fielder moves over, makes the catch, and that is the out. This is what I was kind of worried about with this game, is it's not great about giving us multiple innings in a row of offensive action. We did have that, granted, in the last game that we watched, where the Rangers scored 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, but I would not be surprised if we're kind of stuck here at just 1 run a team for a little bit, which is a little unfortunate, just considering how long that first game took. Like, I went through all this. I did all this work and tried to bend this game to my will, and it just continues to flash its middle finger in my face. Ludwig makes the grab, and it's 2 away for B.J. Upton. .328 average, 5 home runs. That's in for a strike. Upton falls behind 0-1. The wind and the pitch, that's high and inside for a ball. The 1-1. That is lifted out towards right field. Realize that I don't have pop-out shot for that. That's out number 3. Okay. We're heading to the top of the third. Maben, McGee, and Gonzalez coming up for the Angels. As I am clicking all over the place. Cameron Maben. That, and then we want this kind of layered over that. We don't have a great setup figured out for the multi-stream thing, but we're working on it. That is lifted out towards right field. Does it have enough? It's going to get... Ooh, it got off the top of the wall. Right fielder was really nowhere near it. Didn't have a shot to try and get that ball for the catch, but... All right. Starting kind of on the positive side of things, if we're being honest, as far as length of games. And here's our man with the 1 home run already today. No outs, a runner on second. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's inside for a ball. And that's lifted foul. First base side. The wind and the pitch is hit foul yet again. Foul! That ball's foul! We knew it right away, but foul! 1-2. The righty is ready. Winds, fires. Way outside for ball 2. Angels looking to try and grab the lead late here in this one. Top of the third. It's a 1-1 game. Los Angeles scored via the solo home run in the top half of the first. Chicago responded with a run in the bottom. They did leave the bases loaded, though, which was brutal. And again, it's an unproductive out, unable to advance the runs. The second time we've seen it, once now for each side. Runner's able to get to second base, and then the following hitter drives it right to the third baseman, and it's not really much of a productive out. It's even less productive, because at least, Chicago, I think, already had 1, so then it was 2 outs. But at least if Los Angeles was able to get that out and advance the runner 90 feet, you have a larger number of ways to get that run to score. Wind and the pitch from the righty. Oh, that's going to get away from the catcher, and so it doesn't actually end up mattering. Runner advances to third with just 1 out, so now Gonzalez has a variety of ways to try and drive this run in, and is working with a 2-0 count. The righty is ready. He'll step and fire. That's swung on and missed. Two and 1. Wind and the pitch is inside for a ball. 3-1. What am I using to stream PS2? I'm using a mini. That's a walk. Let me see here. Let me grab a photo of it. I'll see if I can figure out I forget exactly what it is. Hold on. We'll take a picture of it. Hold it. Hold. It is a... okay, I'm showing you now. It's a mini AV2 HDMI, yeah, upscaler to 1080. Though saying it upscales is, it's not quite, it's not quite right. But yeah, I am using an upscaler. 0-1. Because this game didn't look great in the first place. Stretching it really, really helpful to just bring out the refined beauty of the PlayStation 2. So it's basically in 4:3, stretched to 1080, and then reformatted into 4:3. Because I have it all funky because it doesn't cover the whole screen. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is fouled away. Two and two, one gone. Runners on first and third. Double play in order for the White Sox if they want it, but they're not going to get it. That's going to roll out into center field. Runners going to hit second to head for third. Runners will stay on the corners, but with a run scoring, it is 2-1 Los Angeles. And the beauty of MLB 11, the show, shows its pretty face again, where it just kind of pulled the... Looks good. Oh, thank you. And you're welcome. Ryan Ludwig. Stepping up. There's probably a better HDMI or AV to HDMI upscaler than the one that I have. Because the one that I have has an annoying proprietary port for the power. It's the same port that goes into a PlayStation 3 controller. And that's going to be lifted into left, so they'll score another run. They'll work just 90 feet or they'll work to just advance 90 feet behind them. John Buck's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. We'll see if 2 runs is enough for the Angels. It wasn't for the Rangers, and then kind of was because they still won that game, but they also shouldn't have had 2 runs. Tampa Bay should have won that game. Because there should have been a tag out at home. I kind of forgot about that, and then I thought in my head it popped up, and I was like, oh. Boy, the Angels are just starting to tee off on this White Sox pitcher. This might end the White Sox season, by the way. Runner's going to stay at third. So it'll be an RBI double. White Sox will head to the bullpen. Bring in the lefty. Jeff Francis, 9 appearances. A 2-4 record with a 4.32 ERA. No saves. 16.2 innings pitched. 6 walks, 12 strikeouts. See what the lefty can do against Ben Zobrist, who's 0 for 1. 2 runners in scoring position and just the 1 out, so he can sack fly himself an RBI. He'll just roll it. Shortstop dives. We threw home. You can't throw home in that scenario. Who are you, me? I can save this. I can make it better. That's me when I make the dumbest play you've ever seen and go, why? How have you won any games? You got to let that run happen. It's in for a strike. Here comes the 0-1. Low for a ball. One and one out. Here's the wind of the pitch from the lefty. It's high and outside for a ball. And that's inside. Okay. There's White Sox pitching. You got to figure it out. Or I guess, you know what? I guess just let the Angels have an insurmountable lead. Whatever. 3-1. I can't believe he threw home. He had no shot. That'll be lifted. So this should end the inning. As we see the wild wind. I was like, where the heck is the guy? Oh, it's going to blow the game. It's going to start in foul territory and blow it all the way back into play. Lefty winds and fires. That's in for a strike at the top of the zone, so that we should be out of the inning. That's one extra pitch. That's two extra pitches, 1-1 as that one stays upstairs. The 1-1 on the way. Thought about swinging. No appeal down to first. So it'll be 2-1. That's in for a strike. 4 extra pitches in this inning. And he genuinely really did not need to throw. 2-2. And that'll get lifted into the right center field gap. That's going to score 1. It's going to hit off the wall. It's going to score 2. So far, 5 extra pitches, 2 extra runs. And that might be it. The Angels have an outside shot. They need a lot of help. Because they're floating right around. They're at 39-39 going into this game. They would tie the White Sox with 40 wins here. With 3 games remaining. They might be out of it. Because I'm not 100% sure who has the tiebreakers or whatever. I say 100% like I am any percent sure. I don't know. That is a surprising ball call to start him off. 6 extra pitches. I mean, the damage has been done. It should be a 5-1 game. We head to the bottom of the third, but instead it's 7-1 because the guy threw home. Two and out. That is in for a strike on that outside edge. 2-1 now. The 2-1 pitch is going to be lifted out to left field. Left fielder does make the grab for out number 3. Monster damage for the Los Angeles Angels. They score 6. Ordonez, Pujols, and Ramirez coming up, trying to keep this game alive and maybe even the season alive for the Chicago White Sox. Maglio Ordonez, 1-for-1 with a double and a run. 275 average, 6 home runs. If it's anything like the last game that we had, it'll be anticlimactic, I think is what I'll say. Because I really don't need to jinx anything. Ordonez takes the ball inside 1-0. We are heading to Kansas City after this, so we'll stay in the AL Central. It'll be the Royals taking on the Yankees. That game I thought was going to be a little more interesting, but with the score the way that it is that's a single, into the right field. Into right field. It's going to get past the right fielder. It'll turn into a double. Should this score hold, the White Sox would lose, and that would give the Kansas City Royals the division. Otherwise, it was going to be the Royals. If they won against the Yankees, they'd be able to pick up that division title. But we'll be down to, I think, just one division title left. It'll be the NL West, and that could be settled as early as tomorrow. We'll take a look at it. So that's upstairs for a ball. Seen a number of division-winning celebrations. That pitch is low. Okay, we can be a little more aggressive. There's a 6-run lead happening here. Leak has had trouble finding the strike zone all day long, so a 2-0 count isn't terribly surprising, but you would, with this lead, like to see him more aggressive in the zone. The wind of the pitch to Pujols is swung on and foul. 2-1. Charge. That's not, I don't think I don't think the sound that they played. That was hit so hard. Pujols broke the game with how hard he hit that ball. Doesn't happen frequently, but when it does, boy, is it noticeable. That one's going to be hit pretty weakly, but still manages to get deep out to left field. There's just something about the way that sounds. It does not line up with how far that got. Ramirez worked a walk in his first plate appearance. Working with a runner on second, 1 gone. The wind and the pitch is upstairs. The righty fouls that one off. 1-1. Runner on second with 1 out. That is hit to the first base side. What? Why did he go to first? That was so rude. Also, I'm a little surprised that he was out because it looked like the hand was in. Oh, I miss you, spam bots. I miss you so much. A runner on first with 2 outs. And that's going to be rolled over to the shortstop. He'll fire to first in time for out number 3. And that will do it. Angels win this one 7-1. We can take a quick look at the playoff standings in the wild card and see if they have much of a chance. They need the Athletics in front of them to fall. Yeah, we've seen stranger things happen, I guess, because considering the New York Mets are on a 13-game win streak, so who knows. Casey McGee is 1 for 2 with a home run. He is your player of the game. Leak improves to 9-7 with the win. Rick Porcello falls to 10-4 with the loss. McGee's 5th home run of the season, 6 in the top of the 3rd for the Angels. They 4-game sweep the White Sox. They held the Chicago White Sox to a 122 average and 1 run in this entire series. And they scored that run today. A .75 ERA. Wow. Okay. Let's bop back out and round the league. White Sox and Angels each a game and a half back of the Athletics. So, depending on what the Athletics do today, could make things interesting. They're the next game up. We're not going to watch it. We're going to slide down to Yankees and the Royals. And that is game number 3. The Athletics 41-38. So they did lose today. Because I believe they were, let's see. No, they were we don't actually know. Well, hold on. I wonder if I can. No, they lost. Okay. Guardians 3-1 over the Athletics. As we move on to Kansas City. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. While I flip the thumbnail and introduce the New York Yankees, who are 44-34, taking on the Kansas City Royals, who are also 44 and 34. The Royals have won the American League Central, because of the White Sox loss. Chicago needed to win out. Kansas City needed to lose out in order for anything interesting to happen. So 5 of the 6, I believe, of the divisions are decided. Scott Pasetic is in left field for the New York Yankees. Marlon Byrd in center. Prince Fielder at first. Hank Blaylock is the DH. Miguel Tejada at short. Cody Ross in right. Brandon Phillips at second. Casey Blake at third. Giovanni Soto is the catcher. Tricky little top of the lineup. It's a lefty, righty, left, left, and then everything's righty after that. I think the Kansas City Royals will have a righty starter. Jake Arrieta, 8-6 with a 4.68 ERA, 15 games, 42.1 innings pitched, 56 hits, 11 walks, and a number of strikeouts. I did not catch it. .30, 56, 11, and 30. Arrieta, if you remember, was like 7-0 earlier in this season, and then you look at his record being 8-6, and it's like, oh, he's 1-6 in his last 7 decisions, which is wild. See what he has on offer for the Yankees today. Unfortunately, the White Sox, all they needed to do was get like a win or 2 in that series against the Angels. Could have made this AL Central a little more exciting. Instead, they got 4 games swept, in which they only scored 1 run. We're underway here in game number 3 of 4. It's a 2-0 count from Arrieta. Yikes. Arrieta's just not, he's not the guy right now. 3-0. And up. And that's in for a strike. 3-1. Wind in the pitch from Arrieta. See if the lefty gets aggressive with the swing. He does not. He'll just take a strike right at the letters. 3-2, so a payoff pitch upcoming. Here's the wind. Fires. Oh my goodness, that was a horrible swing on that payoff pitch. I thought it was gonna be a walk. Couldn't get anything going there. Marlon Byrd steps up, the righty. Here's the pitch from Arrieta. It's low for a ball, so again falls behind that. The Yankee hitter. The wind and the pitch is inside. 2-0. The righty's ready. There's a strike at the knees. 2-1. If you're the Yankees, I think you want to have really patient at-bats here. Arrieta can't find the strike zone, and even if he can, it's not consistent. Because that is foul. The wind and the pitch is going to be foul, third base side. Two and two. The Yankees have kind of given Arrieta some easy outs. He hasn't. I mean, they're battling, they're fighting, they're making him work for it, but Arrieta's also throwing a lot of balls up there. Prince Fielder pulled his Stadium Club card today. I think it was one of the ones that I needed. I went from needing 28 to about 13, which was a nice little swing. Still a bunch of inserts and whatever to get, but having a good time. It's the first set I've ever actually tried to collect. I just open them, pull the cards I like usually, and then move on. But I really do like the Stadium Club, specifically the photography. It's a lot more fun and interesting than the standard MLB cards. The flagship set, as it's known. I think one of these days I'll sit down and dig through all of those. Gotta have a good chunk of them at this point. The wind and the pitch. Rolled foul. Actually, I think I still have more. Did I open the other egg that I bought the other day? Wind and the pitch. That's rolled. Third base side. Arrieta makes the play and fires to first in time. I might have more cards to open than I realized. Jackson. Oops. We haven't introduced the lineup, Sean. Stop. Spoilers. Austin Jackson's going to lead off here for the Kansas City Royals, the center fielder. Followed by Reed Johnson, the DH. Mark Teixeira at first. Jeff Frazier in right. Alexi Ramirez is the shortstop. Josh Willingham in left. Brian McCann, the catcher. Neil Walker at second. Placido Polanco is at third. Bit of a tricky Kansas City lineup. Just the one true lefty in Brian McCann. Otherwise, it's 2 switch hitters, 6 righties. So we'll see what kind of fits they could give this starter for the New York Yankees. Joe Saunders is 8-7. He's a lefty with a 4.28 ERA. 15 games, 40 innings pitched, 49, 13, 21 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Under 2 weeks to go until we'll be playing MLB The Show 26. Under a month until the season starts. Get excited about all that. And March Mascot Madness rolls on tomorrow. Noon Pacific time. We'll have more MLB 11 The Show at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Here's the line and the pitch. And it's outside. 1-0. So far a lot of the batters have taken a look at ball one. Like at least 75% of them. Here comes the 1-0. It is inside for a ball. Scoreless here in the bottom of the first. A battle of division champions with the same record could be vying for the number 1 spot. Yeah, that makes sense. The Mariners are in the mix, but these two teams both have 44 wins. I think Seattle's at maybe 42. That swung on a miss. Actually, here's what I can do. I can take a look at the VOD. I can answer this question right now. Because I believe it was our loading screen info. It was. Oh, the Mariners have 46 wins. Oh, just kidding. The Mariners are number 1. Let's go, baby. Never doubted. Never doubted for a second. And if you thought I did, you're wrong. I did not realize they had 46 wins. That is wild. So the Mariners are the 1, and then they would be battling for the 2. So the Mariners might get, if the standings hold now, the Mariners would get the Athletics in round 1, and then it would be these two teams facing off as the other AL divisional series. Interesting. I think the Phillies would have it in the National League, but we haven't checked. I haven't paid enough attention. The Phillies have been a team that's been kind of out of sight, out of mind for a little while, just because they've been so good. The Phillies have been good all season long, and with the way that the Marlins have collapsed, which is kind of a weird thing to say. The way the Marlins and the Rockies have collapsed, it shifted a lot of focus onto them, because it's like, oh, you guys were like in contention and in playoff spots for a majority of the season, and now you're fighting to maybe get a wild card. So right now it's Phillies, Diamondbacks, Pirates. I don't think the Pirates have enough wins. Well, we'll find out by Wednesday. That's when the playoffs will start. We'll be doing 4 games on Wednesday, 4 games on Friday, and then Saturday might be going for a while, as that is swung on and missed. I would like to try to finish the divisional season this week, but I also need this game to cooperate with me and not have too many series go to Game 5. I shouldn't put that out into the world, but I'm going to. But we'll see. And the schedule's all weird, too. Because, like, the first day, I was looking at it. I was writing my notes down as that pitch missed way outside. I was looking at my notes, and the first day we'll have 2 games of 1 series. And we'll have 0 games of 1 series. As he hits first in rounds as the catch is made out in center. So we'll get NLDS Series A, basically. We'll get 1 game of that. And then ALDS Series A gets Game 1 and Game 2 because of how it's split. So then we would get NLDS Series 2. Oh, it's all weird. It's so annoying. Because for some reason they have multiple days of like 3 games. What are you doing? That's inside. That's that's not a strike. That is... Oof. I would not want to be that umpire right now. It's 0-1. We're in the top of the second. No score. Yankees and Royals. Mariners play the Blue Jays. I thought that was going to be a more important series for the final 4 games, but the Blue Jays have been... They've been a conundrum all season. Name value, you would look at that roster and you would go, wow, this team should be really great. And then you watch them play and you're just kind of like, how? The pitching staff isn't great, but the offense so often looks bad. And they're out of it, so. Mariners are locked in, just kind of position battle for them. Blue Jays are out of it, so that series means nothing for nobody. 2-2. Arrieta winds and fires. That's going to be lifted out towards left field. And that is an out. Miguel Tejada stepping up. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is lifted and sent foul.
That's a foul ball.
Foul ball. That ball is foul. So 0-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside. They're going to call that a ball. I think he got like a pretty bad look from the other guy. So I think you'd look at it and kind of go, hey, we're going to just let you. You can have that one. That's going to be hit just in front of home plate. Catcher makes the play, fires to first. Nice reach there by the first baseman. That one again, we saw it a little bit earlier with one of the pitchers threw the ball over to first, where like they just seemed like there was a dice roll that the game was doing, and it went, okay, you're out this time, but if one little thing turns a certain way, it's going to sail into right field. Cody Ross steps to the plate, takes the ball well outside. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's going to be lifted out towards left field. Left fielder's going to take a peek at it. It is going to be, oh, so barely a foul. Holy moly. Wow. That is rolled foul. That was not the correct hand motions. Foul ball. 1-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Good take. Couple of foul balls in a row. Kind of worry that you get into an auto swing mode, or maybe that's just me. But it is 2-2. That's rolled third base side. Oh, he bobbles it. Does Ross have the speed to get there? He does. Safe at first base. So an error by the third baseman for Kansas City. And it gives Cody Ross life on the base paths. Brandon Phillips is batting a little under 300 at 295. 3 home runs. The wind and the pitch, and that is lifted, or sent foul, I should say. I thought that got a little more air under it. That's been kind of a problem, is just not understanding how the ball is working. Okay, so now Kansas City should have had out number 3 there. Can the Yankees take advantage? That's a strike on the high outside corner. 0-2. That is upstairs for a ball. One and two. Wind and the pitch. In for a strike. That is strike 3 called. All right, so the one error does not bite Kansas City. It's just a few extra pitches. Frazier, Ramirez, and Willingham coming up for the Royals in the home half. A win here would give them win number 45, and maybe more importantly, home field in the division series. Advantage. That's going to be lifted, or sent to shortstop, excuse me. Ramirez with a nice throw. That's not Ramirez. I apologize. He's the shortstop for the Yankees. Oh, there's Alexi Ramirez. Hey, there's the team he actually plays for. Not like actually plays for, but plays for in our fake world. Ready to face the lefty after a very brief appearance by the previous batter. This is out towards left field. Left fielder is making a run for it. He is going to not make the catch. It's an automatic double. So Ramirez on base here in the bottom of the second. Josh Willingham, a runner in scoring position. That might have actually bit the Royals a little bit. They probably would have been a double regardless. I don't think Ramirez had the speed to turn the corner and get to third. And I especially don't think you're going to be able to do that when he goes to left field. Maybe out into right, but... Okay, he's going to be able to score the run. He had to hold up between second and third, but it doesn't matter. It's a great diving effort out there. He is going to hit second and head for third. The throw is in, but it is late. A stand-up triple gives Kansas City a 1-0 lead for Brian McCann. 277 average, 7 home runs, 23 RBI, and a stolen base just for fun. Pitch looked low for a ball. I think it's the lone true lefty for the Royals. 1 lefty, 2 switch hitters, 6 righty batters. It was a tough lineup, tough matchup here for this lefty Yankees pitcher. That is, ooh, boy. That's on the outside edge. Two and one. Runner on third. That's upstairs for a ball. That's inside. Moves his feet. He was going to get put on base regardless if it blew his knee out or if it just was ball 4. Fortunately for him, hey, it's just ball number 4. Neil Walker. If you're the Yankees, you cannot lose a batter to a walk, lefty v lefty. Like, that can't happen. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. One and up. That's upstairs. Two and up. Double play in order, so the walk maybe not the worst thing in the world. I think you just want to try and take advantage of those advantage at bats. The right fielder makes the catch. The runner tags from third and heads home. They'll slide in safely. It's 2-0. Could be a big second run for the Royals. Placido Polanco, he's batting a tick under 300, 299. 6 home runs, 16 RBI. Couple outs, a runner on first. 2-0 Kansas City. In the bottom of the second, that's going to get into right field, and they are going to send that runner around, send him, oh boy, to second, to third. The throw a little up the line. It's a good throw from right field, and I appreciate that the runner made him make a throw. Right fielder, make a play. Good strength out there. It didn't get super deep. Made that advance a little dicier than I think most people would have anticipated. Runners on the corners. Kansas City looking for maybe a little more insurance. That pitch misses inside for a ball, 1-0. Lefty steps and fires. That is going to be lifted into the right center gap. Is that going to be an out? It will be. Just a little too much air under it, but Kansas City comes up with 2 on 3 hits. Blake, Soto, Posednik, as the lineup will flip over for the Yankees thanks to the error by the Royals. Casey Blake is batting .267, a couple of home runs, 11 RBI. The wind and the pitch is okay at the knees for a strike. I was going to say low for a ball. I was prepping that in my head, and it just was not accurate. 0-1. That'll be rolled. First base side going to stay fair. Steps on the bag for out number 1. Giovanni Soto is batting .282 with 3 home runs, 12 RBI. That's just 3 grand slams. Math. The wind and the pitch. Swings and hits it foul. 0-1. Wind and the pitch is going to be hit past the diving third baseman. It'll be a single into left field. So Yankees trying to keep things alive here in the top half of the third. 2-run leads have felt especially volatile lately. They used to feel like a pretty sure thing, but the last couple of weeks it seems like it's not been quite as safe. Uh-oh. Driven out to right field. Kind of a deep part of the park. He's going to make the catch at the wall. That was nearly a tie game. Instead, it's out number 2. Wow. I thought I jinxed it so hard. He hit that ball 327 feet, and he needed to go 330. Actually, he probably hit it 330 feet. He just needed it to be a little more elevated. So the Yankees down to their final at-bat. Runner on first, tying run at the plate. Here's the wind of the pitch from Arrieta. Gets ahead of the batter, which has been kind of a rarity. 0-1. That is outside for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. That is lifted into right field. He'll play it on a hop. Runner just advances 90 feet. That'll bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Maybe the jinx was just a little bit delayed. Uh-oh. It's Prince Fielder. Winner between these two teams has home field advantage in the division matchup, which if the standings were to hold the way that they did, these two teams would face each other in the first round of the playoffs, which is interesting. Provided that that's how the playoffs work. I guess I shouldn't assume anything with MLB in 2011. I thought that there was 2 wildcard teams. That was in 2012. One and one. 2 on, 2 out. The wind of the pitch. It's low for a ball. Arrieta has not looked good throwing the ball today. He started this season really strong. He had a 7-0 record, something like that, and he was dominant. His overall record right now is 8-6, which means he is 1-6 in his last 7 decisions. It has not been great, and he has been shaky at best today. These are the kinds of at-bats that I was talking about the Yankees needed to have. Fielder fell behind 0-1, and he's since worked a 3-1 count. And he's going to put that into left field. How aggressive are the Yankees going to be? Not aggressive. Fielder probably wants that swing back. Hank Blaylock. This is a part of the Yankees lineup that is tough for a righty. It's a lefty, righty, lefty, lefty. And then everybody else is righties. He's managed to work it to 2 outs. The wind of the pitch, and that is into right field. That's going to score 1. They will send the tying run. The right fielder's throw is cut off. That means it's late. We have a tie game. The jinx was delayed, everybody. 2-run lead means nothing in this game. It's 2-out damage. Which honestly would be more fun if the Rays and Rangers hadn't ruined the day. I guess the question now is, can the Yankees put anything else on? Jeez Louise. Oh. I jinxed it both ways. I jinxed the Royals by saying that 2 runs hasn't been enough. I jinxed the Yankees by saying, can they score any more? Let's see what the Royals can do. The Royals are the possessors of the most fraudulent win of the season, when the ball went through a Minnesota Twin player's wrist. And that game ended up going like 8 innings. And it was a miserable experience for all of us. The lefty fires first pitch in for a strike. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive Kansas City is on the base paths. If they can try and respond as quickly as possible. Probably want to flip those swings. It's more than likely a 1-1 count. Instead, it's 0-2. The lefty winds and fires a big old curveball outside for a ball. 1-2. Good job to hold the bat on the shoulder after a very aggressive swing on the previous pitch. And that's foul, so at least gets a piece of it to stay alive. Count remains 1-2. That is swung on and missed. So one gone. I can feel it. I know exactly what's going to happen in this game. We're going to go like 6 innings again. Unless Teixeira can end it against his actual team. Here's the pitch from the lefty. It is... Wow. Here comes the 0-1. Winds and fire. Oh my God. This stupid PlayStation 2 game. The Royals are just so swing happy. Quickly 2 away for Kansas City here in the... Oh my God. What are you swinging at? Oh. You stupid idiots. We're going to the 4th. Because the righty couldn't get through 3 left-handed batters. And then as soon as he got to another righty, it was an easy out. Cody Ross steps up. Jake Arrieta. Looking for a winning decision here. Not a lot of those in his recent past. The wind and the pitch. That misses outside for a ball. Here comes the 1-1, and that is lifted into right field. Has a little too much air under it, and that'll be an out into right. And that's how we start the top of the 4th. Second extra innings game of the day. First one went 6, so buckle up for that. The wind and the pitch from the righty. It's going to be lifted out toward the right center gap. Right fielder makes the lunging grab. It's a nice play out there. There's a couple of putouts now. Casey Blake 0 for 1, 264 average. The righty winds and fires way upstairs for a ball. That's going to be a strike at the knees. I don't know about that one. Maybe a bit of a beneficial call. I guess the good news for the Yankees is that's only strike number 1. Wind in the pitch is inside. It hits him. Okay, well, that was kind of mean. That was like insult. That was injury to insult. It was a bad strike call. Then Arrieta hit him in the back. And they'll go to the bullpen, which is a good call on their part. Arrieta did not look great. Jim Johnson has 26 appearances with a 3-2 record, 6 saves, 315 average, 20 innings, 4 walks, 13 strikeouts. Swung on and missed. Big swing at the first pitch from the bullpen. Or the reliever, I should say. The bullpen guy. 0-1. It's almost like they have a name, Sean, and it's called reliever. And he's fouled away, so a really aggressive at bat here for the righty. Quickly 0-2. Pulls that one foul. He's going to want that swing back. That looked like it was in a hittable location. 0-2. 2 out. Runner on first. 2-2 game here in extras. Top of the fourth. Wind and the pitch. Jeez Louise. This game, I'm not even playing and I want to throw a controller. You swung at like everything else and then took that pitch? Oh, boy. Ramirez, Willingham, and some other guys coming up. These are the extra innings games that kill me. McCann. McCann was the other name that I didn't get to. We're having a good day. We're in a good mood. Actually, I mean, today ended up being fine. But we were trying to go see Hoppers, the early access screening of Hoppers. But there was a problem with it. At the theater we were trying to go to. So they like canceled the screening. And I was like, oh, that's weird. But they sent the email out at 6 a.m. Strike at the knees, 0-1. Which was bizarre. That it took them that long to like, hey, we were having technical problems, so we canceled the order. So I went in and I looked. And I was like, oh, well, some other people have bought seats as that's rolled over. Shortstop picks it up and fires. First base in time for the out. So I looked at the seating charts. Some people had bought tickets, and I was like, okay, well, we'll just try again. Maybe they thought they had an error, they fixed it. I don't know, whatever. I bought more tickets, and then like an hour later, they're like, no, we're canceling your order. Like, stop buying tickets. Please stop buying tickets. So they got the refunds, whatever. And so I went downtown. Or I went to the theater, I should say. Downtown means nothing to anyone. I went downtown, like who cares? But I went to the theater and they did not even have it listed, but they must not be able to take that off of the app. So it was kind of a bummer of an experience. Maybe that's why I'm a little. I also didn't sleep a ton last night, so put those two things together, and you might see why I'm a touch grouchy with this idiot game. 2 gone. I forget exactly what the longest episode is. We don't need to break that record today, but depending on how far this goes, we might start getting to a pace where we are. Because in the one that went like 4 hours, MLB 11, he hit it right back to the pitcher. Stop swinging at everything. Good. Hey, this is good warm up for me getting irritated at MLB The Show 26. Got right back to the pitcher. That is infuriating. Let's see. 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. I forget exactly when it was. They were like, I think it was probably the one that I was talking about with the Royals and the most fraudulent win of the season. Where was it? Oh, all of those have Rockies thumbnails. That's not great for me, probably. We could find it. We're scrolling. The righty fires high for a ball. Oh, Twins Royals was nearly 4 hours, but not quite. One of them I thought definitely went, but that's going to be hit foul, third base side. 3 hours. Oh, maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just that it was. Hey, rolled over. Nobody made a defense. Maybe nobody made a move on the defensive side. Good for you. Proud of you all. Huh, maybe I was wrong. I think the closest was 358 that I saw. Which, like, is fine. Whatever. It's not anything to be too terribly, like, I'm going to be very particular about this. Like, all right, nerd. Settle down. Me. Just yelling at myself. That is going to be a strike at the letters. A runner on first. So that's something at least here. The game does seem to kind of force some action once we get to the 5th or 6th inning, kind of right around in this area. That's okay. Stop talking. For the love of God, me, stop talking. The 3rd time I have jinxed this game. They start to force action, a double play. A 2-run lead, usually enough. They score 2 runs, the Yankees. Can the Yankees score any more runs? Immediately and out. Holy moly. Two. Prince Fielder. That's a big swing. Looks like he swung under it. And it's 0-1 to the lefty. This was the chunk of the lineup that the Royals pitching had trouble with last time. It's like I said, it leads, the one spot is a lefty, and then it's a righty, and then double lefties. They just could not get past those lefties cleanly. That pitch misses low. Good eye by Fielder there. One and two. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's swung on and missed. So we are heading to the home half of the 5th. Fielder goes down on strikes. And it is 2-2. Walker, Polanco, Jackson. The wind and the pitch from the lefty, fouled away. Oh and 1. The wind and the pitch from the lefty is outside for a ball. Hey, thanks for not swinging at that. Like, I appreciate that. We have to compliment you on such nothing that you do. Here's the next pitch. That'll be lifted out towards right field, a little under it. So it stays up in the air for a long time. Right fielder, plenty of time to work under it and get the out. 1 away. Placido Polanco is 1 for 1 with a single. Batting .305 on the season, 6 home runs. That's inside. Moves his feet a little bit. It'll be 1-0. Swung on and missed, and a pitch outside the zone for a ball. Or strike, excuse me. 1-1. Or 2. What's the count? 1-1. Really bad swing at that pitch outside. Holy moly. The pitch was like so far outside, like I didn't even... Oh, he hit it right back to the catcher. Or pitcher. I'm falling apart. I'm losing my mind. The teams were having this problem in the Rangers-Rays game as well, where it just felt like there were so many ground balls. They were able to get some here and there out into the outfield, but it never felt like there was a lot that was solidly hit. So quickly 2 gone here for the... That's the best pitch that you've had an opportunity... What they're swinging at and what they're letting go by is mind-boggling. Fouled away. That ball was foul. I guess I'm thrown off as far as how long we've been doing this because I did start a little bit late. That's outside for a ball. Had a little trouble getting the restream thing to work the way that I wanted it to. It just pulled up 2 random videos. which is not what I want. I want it to be like a very... But it is what it is. The lefty fires, swung on and missed. We're heading to the top of the 6th. 2-2. Blaylock, Tejada, and Ross. It's the fact that the offenses haven't given us anything to believe in. The Royals are maybe the most frequent team of extra inning BS games. Where you're just like, why are we here? Your pitching staff can't hold a lead. And your offense can't do anything. I can understand a take there. That pitch looked like it was going to stay inside, but kind of leaked over the plate. Ended up in a pretty hittable spot, but I don't think he was going to be able to get to it. It's 0-1. The wind and the pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2. The righty steps and hits him. Okay, well, all right. Hits a batter in a 2-strike count. Hey, that's a bad plan. I did want to throw that out there. But it does get us moving in a positive direction. Miguel Tejada. Nobody out, a runner on first. What can he do against the righty? As the Royals are into the bullpen. Second pitch that the righty has thrown. It's the first pitch of the at-bat that looks like it's going to be a ball and then just drifts over. One low, one high, but they ended up in a pretty hittable location. If you're the next batter for the Yankees as he swings at a pitch that's outside, if you're the next Yankees batter, maybe look for that. I think it's a hard thing to go like, hey, look for this thing that is not probably real. That's going to get into the dirt. Catcher does a nice job to stay in front of it. One and two. Runner on first with nobody out. That'll be lifted towards left field. Is that going to get over the head of the left fielder? It will, because it's a diving attempt. It's going to be limited to a single because they do not advance the runner to third. The batter heading to first was trying to go to second, but because of how close the play was out in the outfield, you don't want to get doubled off in a horrible situation. So it'll be Cody Ross. 2 on, nobody out. The wind and the pitch. Again, I think you have to look for that. That pitch was in a hittable location. 3 straight, first pitches to each of these guys have been in the middle. Low middle, high middle, middle. Cody Ross tries to drive it. Right fielder took a peek, but ran out of room. Nobody out. 0-2 count. That's outside for a ball. Good take. We've seen a lot of very aggressive swings from both teams today. Especially here in these later innings as we're in the top of the 6th. It's just felt like they've been too aggressive. And the Yankees in this inning, there's been a couple of times where the pitch has been pretty clearly going to be a ball, and they've really gone for it. 2-2. And that's going to be hit up the middle. How aggressive are they? They're going to send the runner from third. The center fielder is up. He is throwing in. It's way up the line. Safe at the plate. It's 3-2 Yankees. We finally have some offense, folks. Are we excited? Yes, I am. I'll put that in the chat. I'll say I'm excited. I'll let you all know I'm excited. Look at that. Bam. One person in the chat excited there's offense. The wind and the pitch. Thought about it. That one stayed on the edge. Nice job to hold it back. That's on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Now the pitcher here for Kansas City has done a good job getting ahead of all of these batters. Oh, and that's launched out to center. He's going to make a tumble and grab. Runner from second will tag and advance. I think he was going to do that regardless. Casey Blake with one out is going to look to drive another run in, try to pad that lead a little bit. But we did see a 2-run lead not work for the Kansas City Royals. We're also seeing the Royals offense do nothing for a while now. Yankees have scored in the divisible by 3 innings, the top of the third, the top of the sixth. If they end up tied at the end of the 6th inning, we might not see any scoring from the Yankees till the top of the 9th. If the pattern is to be believed. 2-0. The wind and the pitch is going to be swung on and missed. 2-1. And that's a low for a ball. 3-1. Now the interesting thing will be is, does Kansas City try to go home if it's a... Okay, doesn't matter. Never mind. Dennis Baez. 3 games. Denny's, yeah. No record, 1 save, no ERA. 4 innings, 1-1. Walks and strikeouts. Giovanni Soto, 1 for 2 with a single and a run. Yankees lead 4-2. The wind of the pitch from the righty stays outside for a ball, 1-0. So I didn't really even get to finish my thought before the Yankees were able to knock that into center field. I was like, would Kansas City try to go home? Do you just take the 1 guaranteed out? We saw it kind of bite the Rays earlier. No, the White Sox earlier, where they went home and then they ended up giving up a couple more runs. I think you trade the run for the out, even if it's not the double play. That'll be rolled over. Shortstop to second for 1, over to first in time for 2. The double play ends the top of the 6th, but not before the Yankees score 2. It's 4-2. Johnson, Teixeira, and Frazier coming up for the Royals. Yankees on a 4-0 scoring run. They'll head to the bullpen looking for some save action. Scott Proctor, 10 games, a 2-1 record, 2 saves, an 8.53 ERA. Yikes. 12.2 innings pitched, 10 walks, 7 strikeouts. Yikes. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here's the wind and the pitch. Righty misses inside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's just on the outside edge for the strike. One and one. And that's fouled away. Those are a little tricky to see, a little tricky to tell. The righty readies and fires. It's going to be hit past the diving third baseman. The shortstop gets it. Not in time. It's a nice play. It's hard to be too annoyed with that. Third baseman maybe should have had a better shot at it, but we got to give credit to the shortstop when credit is due. And credit is due. Mark Teixeira's 0 for 2 with a 370 average, not an ERA. Batters don't have ERAs unless they're a pitcher, which we turned that off, so. Teixeira takes that for a strike. It's a good pitch to take for a strike. It's in the low part of the zone. You don't want to turn a double play down 2. See if you can figure something out. The righty is ready. Winds and fires. Thought about it. No appeal down to third, and the umpire says it's a ball. So 1-1. That is going to be knocked out to right field. Runner will advance 90 feet to second base. So the tying run now aboard the winning run is Jeff Frazier, who's 0 for 2. He's batting .239 on the season. What a great time to double that home run total. 1 home run to 2 home runs. The line and the pitch is outside. Ball 1. That pitch way outside. This is where that ERA starts to kind of creep into the back of my head. I'm like, it's not good. Two and 0. Maybe their arms are just exhausted. That'll be lifted into right field. That will plate 1 run. Throw up the line. That was surprisingly close. Again, the sliding is just so, it rips any momentum out of the runner. It's wild. It's a good throw. If it's a little more on target, it's probably an out. But instead, it's a run. Kansas City cuts the lead in half. That's outside for a ball. One and up. Tying run at second. Winning run at first. Gravy run at the plate. One and one. That is foul. Third base side. Here comes the 1-2. It's outside for a ball. 2-2. Kansas City working with nobody out. 4-3 Yankees here in the home half of the 6th. That is going to be hit into left field. Are they going to advance the runner? No, just to third. Station to station. Winning run in scoring position. Nobody out. All right. I think the Yankees would go home here in this situation. Uh-oh. They're going to second for one. To first. Not in time. Boy, that delayed animation really gives away that it's going to be safe at first. He taps his chest like it's his fault. They only get one. Double play still in order. They score the game tying run. Brian McCann's 0 for 1 with a walk. The righty winds and fires inside. Almost got that elbow. Though the game is not particularly I don't know if kind is the right word. The game is a little weird when it comes to where it hits a batter. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's lifted. Oh, no. Out at third base. Or by the third baseman, I should say. Neil Walker. He has a sac fly and an RBI. That's not an option here. To get it into the outfield, it is a win for the Royals. The wind of the pitch, it's going to be a win for the Royals in 6. They score 3 in the home half, and the Royals, they score a victory. They would have won the Central today either way. Wow. The Yankees blow it. They bring in a dude with an 8+ ERA. They do manage to get 2 outs, but this game hates when you cannot get the double play. Josh Willingham is 1 for 3 with a triple. Couple RBI in today's game. Dennis Baez improves to 1-0. Picks up his first win of the season. Good for him. Scott Proctor, loss number 2. He drops to 2-2. No home runs on the day. The Yankees scored 2 in the third, 2 in the sixth. The Kansas City Royals blew a lead in the third after they scored 2 in the second, and then managed to stage a comeback in the home half of the sixth. We've had a couple of long games today, and we're not done yet, folks. We're not done yet. We are going to watch one more game. That game that I very obviously remember, and I'm not stalling at all to pull up my notepad, is the Minnesota Twins and the Detroit Tigers. We're staying in the AL Central. A lot of AL Central teams today. Not intentional. This is a wheel spin game. Maybe could have respun the wheel. Oh, we got to catch up on some scores. We watched the top 2 games. The Guardians take out the Athletics. That gives the Angels and the White Sox a little bit of hope, and makes things a little interesting in that wild card race. The Braves beat the Cubs 2-1. The Phillies over the Reds 2-0. The Phillies with 49 wins, the most in the MLB. 3-0 Marlins over the Pirates. Pirates have things locked up in the NL Central. Marlins need some help in the NL wildcard. They might be on top, but I can't remember. We watched the Royals walk off the Yankees. We're going Tigers, Twins, Mets, Brewers, Mariners, Blue Jays are the only scores that we will need to catch up. I did not realize that both of the games that or the 4 games we had were groups of 2. As we are set for game number 4. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. If you want to, subscribe. Follow along on Twitch. All that good stuff. You can subscribe on Twitch. That's like in pay if you want. If you really want to. You can subscribe for free on YouTube. But I am monetized on Twitch. Welcome to Minneapolis / St. Paul. Welcome to the home of the Twins. The Tigers are 38-40. The Minnesota Twins are 33-45. For game number 4 here at Target Field. Welcome. It's game 4. Detroit's lineup is a tricky one. It's Rafael Furcal. It's a switch-hitting shortstop to lead things off. Big old chunk of lefties. First baseman Ike Davis. Catcher Joe Mauer. Third baseman Pedro Alvarez. Left fielder Raul Ibanez. A brief break for a righty and Adam Jones, the center fielder. Will Venable, though, right back to the lefties. He's in right field. Orlando Hudson's a switch-hitting second baseman. Matt Diaz, the other true righty. So, 7 of 9. Not a Star Trek reference, but convenient. Batting from the left side today. Starting pitcher is Carmona. Fausto Carmona, 9-4 with a 4.74 ERA, 15 games, 38 innings, 43, 26, 21 hits, walks, strikeouts. Nailed it. They gave me a lot of time on that one, which I appreciate. Here's your Minnesota Twins defensive lineup. Rafael Furcal leads things off. Batting .255, a couple of home runs. 10 RBI. The wind and the pitch. We are underway as that is fouled off here in Minnesota. Game 4 of 4. As always, we're back tomorrow. Be streaming 6 to 7 days. The only day I won't be streaming will be Thursday. Playoffs starting on Wednesday. We'll even be doing some streaming on Saturdays. Next couple of weeks as we look to wrap this up. The wind and the pitch. Thought about it. Appeal down to first. He went. They will call that not only a strike, but a strikeout for out number 1. I highly doubt he went around. They almost never do. He did not. I don't know what they saw. All right. Good start here for this one. Ike Davis. He's batting .261. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in the dirt all the way to the backstop. 1-0. Thought about it. Doesn't matter. Strike. 1-1. The righty fires to the lefty, and that's fouled off. 1-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's inside, but gets the swing and the miss. Davis set down on strikes. 2 up, 2 down for Detroit, both via the strikeout. Pitch way inside, never really had much of a chance. Joe Mauer, .362 average, 3 home runs, 16 RBI, 2 stolen bases. The wind and the pitch. That is going to be hit. Oh my goodness, what a snag by the first baseman. That's a 1 pitch, 1 swing, and 1 wild out. Nothing going for Detroit there in the top half of the first. Let's head to the home half. It'll be Dexter Fowler, the switch hitting center fielder, leading things off, followed by Yunel Escobar at shortstop. Kendry Morales at first. Marcus Thames in left. Lance Berkman in right as they go switch right, switch right, switch. Then it's the lefty Chase Utley at second. Yadier Molina at the catching position. Kevin Kuzmanov. He is a right-handed third baseman. And Roger Bernardina, the DH. He'll be hitting lefty. Because he's a lefty. Carl Pavano is 9-5 with a 5.17 ERA. 15 games, 38.1 innings pitched. 51, 15, 19 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Raul Ibanez out there in left. Dexter Fowler with just a .224 average. Does have 1 home run. Cannot imagine that tall wall out in right field helps a guy like Fowler. Maybe he runs into a couple of them in a different stadium that has a more favorable right field. However, he does launch this out towards center field. Does it have the height? No, it does not. I thought it might get the wall before it got to Adam Jones, the center fielder, but he, with no fear, funky wall, or funky animation to run into the wall there. Yunel Escobar is batting .277, 1 home run, 6 RBI, and a stolen base. The wind and the pitch, fouled away. The wind and the pitch, inside for a strike. Quickly 0-2. And that one stays upstairs for a ball. One and two. And he jams him a little bit, gets the swing, and it's fouled away. One and two. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is fouled away.
That ball is fouled.
2-2. And that's going to be hit out into left field past that shortstop diving to try to make the play. It's a single. Our first hit of the game is from the Minnesota Twins. And it puts a runner on first. Kendry Morales, 288 average. 8 home runs, 21 RBI. One on, one out in a scoreless game here in the bottom of the first. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is. Oh, it's rolled over. They're going to be... Oh, they're going to call that foul. Wonder who that benefits more. He probably would just let the runner go to second. I don't think you need to flirt with disaster out there. Okay, well, he hit it right back to it. He's safe at second. Okay, I don't... How did he make the wrong play both times? Weird. You don't need to step on first base. Just throw it to second, get the force out. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Runner in scoring position with 2 gone. Here's the pitch. It's strike at the knees. Don't know if I agree with that, but it is what it is. 0-1. Can Minnesota? Okay, no, well, not on that pitch. Can Minnesota take a lead here in the first inning? The home teams haven't really been performing particularly well. I mean, I guess Kansas City had the lead and they did get the walk-off, but the Rangers got the lead and then Tampa Bay responded and then they lost. And then Los Angeles got the lead over Chicago. Chicago tied it, but then they gave up 6 at the top of the third to the Angels. The wind and the pitch. That's going to be rolled to the first base side. Underhand toss to the pitcher. Covering is in time for the out. Minnesota picks up a hit. They ended up advancing him to second, but they can't come up with anything. Pedro Alvarez is batting .250, 4 home runs and 23 RBI. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Pitcher winds and fires. That's foul.
Foul ball.
And that's going to be rolled. Okay. Third baseman said, no, don't worry about it. That's on you. That's shortstop, don't worry. I trust you, buddy. Bro, you got it. It's an out. It's just a weird thing to see. This game's really been doing that today. It's just like, couldn't be bothered. 1 gone as the pitcher winds, fires, and that is hit past the diving third baseman. Wow, okay. I think it was the Angels or the Orioles, one of those teams. It might have been the Orioles. They had one of the worst third baseman performances we've ever seen. This guy said, hey, hold my drink. Adam Jones is batting .356, has a home run on the season. Working with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the second. This AL Central matchup. I did not realize how many divisional matchups there were late in the season. I think the problem was there just weren't enough of the either the key ones like a Red Sox Yankees or between teams that were in playoff races with each other. Like you would have wanted White Sox Royals like a little bit later. Two and oh. The wind and the pitch, and that is hit to shortstop. Fires to second for 1. Over to first in time for 2. The double play retires the side. We will head to the home half of the second. It'll be Berkman, Utley, and Molina. St. Louis, Philadelphia, St. Louis coming up. 1 hit for each team. No score. Berkman, 5-time All-Star with Houston, even though he's in a St. Louis hat and playing for Minnesota. The righty is ready. Catcher selects the pitch. He likes it. The wind, the fire, foul. 0-1. And that is low for a ball. One and one. Wind and the pitch is way upstairs, 2-1. The righty is ready. That's inside, ball 3. 3-1. Good news for the... I guess kind of good news for the Detroit defense. See how aggressive they want to be swinging the bat here. Batters love a 3-1 swing. Wind and the pitch, and he will foul it off. So a full count and a payoff pitch coming up. And swung on and missed. So fell behind 3-1. Got a couple of strikes to set him down. And it's 1 away. I mean, it's a nice pitch. Very early on the 81-mile-an-hour fastball. Right at the bottom of the zone. Probably caught a lot more of the plate than he wanted it to, considering that it was like right down the middle. But pitch sequencing wins the day in that at-bat. One gone for Minnesota as we take a look at, oh boy, Chase Utley, who I could not remember was coming up. One and oh. That is, whew, boy. Oh boy. One and one. The wind and the pitch is swung on and missed. 1 and 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Righty winds and fires. That's rolled over. First baseman comes up with it, and he'll make the out at first. Easy peasy. 2 gone. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yadier Molina. You're not the uh-oh. 4 home runs, 20 RBI. What can he do here against the righty pitcher for the Detroit Tigers? Winds and fires. That's low for a ball. One and up. Oh my goodness, this game is just so bizarre. The pitches that it has the batters take versus the pitches that the batters swing at are just they're mind-boggling at times. Righty is ready. Molina is able to knock that out into right field. Don't know if the second baseman would have had a play at that, but he did kind of run just away from it. Kevin Kuzmanoff. Kuzmanoff. Ooh. Well, he'll step to the plate following the single from Yadier Molina. Zeros everywhere, and he'll take his first pitch for a strike. Ball's behind 0-1. This would be the time to see if you can get a hit. You're gonna have to hit it. You're gonna have to get it deep. I don't know. The Molina's gonna have the speed to get all the way around from first, but we'll see what happens here. 1-1 the count. That is foul. One and two. 2 outs with the runner on first. That's upstairs for a ball. Oh, God. Of course he was going to strike out. There was no hope. There was no hope for that. Venable, Hudson, and Diaz. I don't know why I've made us watch so much AL Central baseball. I'd like to apologize for that. Will Venable stepping up here. We're in the top of the third. No score. That's upstairs for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball. Wind and the pitch. Okay. I guess got the high outside corner for a strike. Righty is ready. And that's inside for a ball. Three and one. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is at the knees for a strike. Okay. Do you want to swing at anything? Anything at all? He's not going to just walk you. A couple of nice pitches right on the edges of the zone. Okay, well, just to yourself, you idiot. He's not just going to walk you. He walked him. Orlando, Hudson's batting .306. He has 3 home runs. See what he can do here with a runner on first. Nobody out. He's going to put a strong swing into that. Past the diving shortstop. Runner will hold at second, not deep into left field. Matt Diaz, .320 average, 4 home runs, 15 RBI, has a stolen base. A go-ahead run is at second. Nobody out. The wind and the pitch, he's fouling it away. So some aggression from these last couple at-bats when the runner at second, who was walked aboard, I don't think he didn't take his bat off the shoulder. Double him up. I love it. I love when they say that, like no one's ever thought of that before. Oh, a double play. God, thanks. If only I'd been playing baseball for 20 years. The wind and the pitch is rolled over. Okay, well, hey, they took the audience's suggestion to two. Nope, excuse me, from 2 second for 1 to first for 2. To 2 for 2 for 1 for 3. Rafael Furcal is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He has the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Following the double play. He's going to have to work some 2-out magic here. And again, thanks to the crowd for shouting that out. I had never thought of it. Double play be helpful. It's a good take. One and oh. Lefty is ready. As the righty winds, fires, and that one catches the zone for a strike. 1 and 1. And foul. One and 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's foul away. Foul ball. And lifted. Foul. Foul ball. Here comes a 1-2. It is hit to the second baseman. That will retire the side. Minnesota does a nice job defensively. They're able to turn that double play and pick up one more out as it's rolled over to the second baseman. Bernardina, Fowler, and Escobar looking to walk things off for the Twins in the home half of the third. Coming up next, Roger Bernardina with a 187 average, a home run, 6 RBI. No stolen bases on the season. He'll take a ball low. 1 and 0. Oh, he's going to want that one back. Got a good piece of it, but drove it well foul up into that, like, windowed area. 1 and 1. That is low and outside for a ball. The wind and the pitch, and that is lifted out toward left field. The left fielder's taking a run at it. It is an out. Oh, he had a good chunk of it, but couldn't get it away from the defender. It's a nice running grab by the left fielder. They'll bring up Dexter Fowler as the lineup flips over. One gone here in the bottom of the third. Fowler takes a ball upstairs. 1 and 0. Wind and the pitch upstairs again, 2 and 0. Reddy's fires, and this one's lifted. That'll be into right field, sky high. He's nearly to second by the time the ball hits the glove. 2 gone for Minnesota, here. In the home half of the third. Depending on what Yudel Escobar can do here, we could be going to extras for the 3rd time tonight. Well, Yuna Escobar will keep things going here as he'll hit a single into center field. They always look like they want to go to second, but I mean, it's always good to come hustling out of the box just in case that center fielder misplays it. The bobble animation is far rarer in the outfield, but it does happen occasionally. Kendry Morales is 0 for 1. Rarely. It happens rarely. I shouldn't say occasionally. Rarely is the better descriptor there. That is way outside. 1-0. Can Minnesota work some 2-out magic here? The wind and the pitch outside for a ball. Two and 0. The wind and the pitch. Foul. Oh, I think he's going to want that one back. That looked good. But unfortunately, it's just driven foul. 2-1. 2 gone with the runner on first. That is your winning run aboard. The wind of the pitch from the righty. That gets the outside corner. A little passive on that pitch. Don't know that he was going to get a whole lot of it, but guess he thought it was maybe going to be a ball. 2-2. That's way inside. Full count. 2 gone. The runner's off. On the pitch. It's going to get into center field. I don't think he's going to have the speed to win the game. It'll be runners on the corners. 2 outs. Man, if they put somebody out there that had some speed. Okay. Marcus Thames. Marcus Timms. I always get thrown off by the H. Marcus Timms. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. Good eye. Something that this game has not been particularly strong at. Readies, winds, fires. That is outside for a ball. Two and 0. What does Timms have up his sleeves? We'll take a strike on the outside. Let him be a little more aggressive at that pitch. Let's make it a 2-1 count. Okay, buddy, somebody, swing at a decent pitch. My God in heaven. We were trying to calm down. We were trying to be patient. The pitch sequencing is masterful apparently in this game. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's going to be hit. Second baseman's going to come up with it. We are heading to the top of the 4th. Timms drives it into the ground. If you flip that swing, maybe you get a little more juice on it. No score. Minnesota's piled up 4 hits. Detroit with just 2. We're going to extras for the 3rd time today. 6 innings the first time. I forget what happened. 5. Nope, 6. 6 innings in game 1. 6 innings in game 2. I guess the question would be do you think that this is going 6 innings for game 3 into extras here? The wind and the pitch is in for a strike. Not 100% sure on what the count is because I was trying to get the information about the other game. 1-1 as we enter the top of the 4th. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in for a ball. The offense has been anemic today, with the exception of the 6-run inning. Like, I just don't. Nobody's doing anything. Pulls it foul. It's like we just got the worst selection of games. And all of these the game simulated went, we're going extras. And we're just going to be miserable. And that's foul away. Stayed alive with 2 strikes. 2-2 the count still, following the foul ball. Here comes the 2-2. Outside for a ball. How'd that Florida-Arkansas game go? Let's see. Well, we're kind of here. That'll be hit right back up the middle into center field for a single. Duke won big. Houston won huge. Clemson upsets Louisville. Kentucky upsets Vanderbilt. Joe Mauer playing the current team that he was supposed to play for. Arizona dominates Kansas. Texas Tech upstates Iowa State. West Virginia upsets BYU. Alabama squeaks by Tennessee. St. John's cruises by 32. Boy, oh boy, that is foul. Did not expect to see the score of 111-77. Florida all over Arkansas. My goodness. They clinch at least a share of the SEC title. They were up by 19 going into the break. And they piled on another 15-point deficit, so. Yeesh. Oh, and Gonzaga falls in St. Mary's. Wow. 70-59. They led by 7 going into the break and then just fell apart in the second half. They had an 18-point deficit. Huh. St. Mary's always feels like a team that Gonzaga, they struggle with. Of course, St. Mary's, while they're not ranked, are 26-4, so. Gonzaga was a top 10 team. Gonzaga's had a couple of funky losses. Not that St. Mary's is a funky loss, but they did lose to Portland, which was an odd one. So runner is safe, and we are looking at runners at the corners here for Detroit. I guess if I just read basketball scores, that's when things happen. Joe Mauer doing good stuff for the wrong team. Pedro Alvarez is 0 for 1, 248 average, 4 home runs, 23 RBI. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is... Oh, the shortstop dove over it, and it looked like from the look in the top right corner, the runner was actually going to hold at third. The interesting thing is that... So he gets all the way out into center. So the runner scores, and Mauer heads to third. 1-0 Detroit. Raul Ibanez is 1 for 1 with a single, batting .296 this season. 3 home runs. Be interesting to see if... Okay, that was hit foul. Does this Minnesota defense... Do they go home for 1? Try to get that 1 out? Do they just try to go for the double play? The wind and the pitch upstairs for a ball. Oh, we hit him. It's going to load the bases. He hit Raul Ibanez. Oh, the bases are loaded for Detroit. So now you can go home and get the force out if you really want to. 0-1. 353 average with a home run. Wind and the pitch. That's hit foul. Too many players on the screen at once for the game to render correctly. So frame's absolutely destroyed there. 0-1 as that was fouled away. The wind and the pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2. Oh, 0-2. Jones fouls it away. It'll say 0-2. They are going to go home for the force out at... Oh, it's going to be a double play. Wow. Okay. That's a big play for this Minnesota Twins defense. They went home. I didn't think they were going to get two because it was just a little... It felt like a little delayed. The catcher rotating to like throw to first. Lance Cormier, 31 games with a 5-4 record, 3 saves, 4.96 ERA, 32.2 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 14 walks. Don't love that ratio, but it is what it is. Will Venables worked a walk in his previous plate appearance. And a big spot here with 2 outs. That pitch is in for a strike. It's that outside corner. The righty is ready. The wind and the pitch. I thought that was going to drift maybe a little more inside, but caught that edge of the plate. It's just kind of stayed on the edge. Is it? Is a strike. The righty is ready. Lines and fires. That one's low. Definitely don't want to load the bases, but it would make a force out at any base. I don't know. I think you just try to figure it out. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is lifted into center field. Oh, that's brutal. Minnesota's defense does what the game just doesn't allow it to do. Safe at the plate. Like, they got the double play and they still get punished. They bring in the reliever. He's able to get that off the bad part of the bat into center field. That'll clear the bases. It's 3-1 or 3-0. What? 3-0. What the hell are you talking about? Me? 3-0. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? All right. Everybody be cool. I think we're on hour 15 of this 4-game series. Or 4-game episode. 0-1. 2 away. Line and the pitch. That's a big old curveball that misses inside. Because the Tigers are the away team, we still get to watch the Minnesota Twins hit. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher. Runner advances to second, so into scoring position. Hey, throw the ball better. Stop being upset. It's you. You're the one who sucks, all right? Peace. Getting all mad. Oh, God. 2-1. The wind and the pitch is foul. 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. It is lifted into left field. Runner's going to head for home after rounding third. The throw is cut off, which means it'll be safe at the plate. Detroit really piling on here with 2 outs. I really thought Minnesota was going to get out of this with just giving up the 1 run. The game is so rude to teams that can't turn the double play. I thought it would be nice to a team that could turn the double play. And then the game just gave me the middle finger. Like, you don't know me. All right, game. I know you're a piece of garbage. And that gets away from the catcher, but the runner will stay at first. Didn't get super far away. One and oh. That's inside for a ball. That's inside for a ball. 3-0. Okay. Pitcher, please. For the love of God. Just get out of the city. 4-0 Detroit. Yeah, that's got to be that's a hands-off controller. Got to let it go. Three and one. That is outside for a ball. Okay. All right. Did not take the bat off of his shoulder and worked a walk. Way outside. That was not close. What are you doing? They keep cheering. I keep thinking that they're bringing in like a different pitcher. Oh my goodness. He couldn't buy a strike. Cormier, throw it in the zone, man. Can you do that for us? Can you do us a favor? Okay, there you go. Roll it over. Third baseman fires for the out. Detroit scores 4. 3 of those with 2 gone. It is 4-0. Berkman, Utley, Molina, the same lineup we saw, or same chunk of the lineup we saw earlier in the game, due up for the Twins in the home half of the 4th. Detroit is going to go to the bullpen to bring in the lefty, Boone Logan. 10 games. He has a 1-1 record, a couple of saves. 3.68 ERA, 7.1 innings pitched with just 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Lance Berkman 0 for 1. He has a strikeout. That is okay, in for a strike. Count 0-1. Sidewinder fires that outside for a ball. 1-1. Jams him, but still able to get to it and pull it foul. Makes it 1-2. Kind of working west to east a little more. Kind of that. Feels like the last chunk of that. Because we play some of these old games for spring training in the past, and it's like they really struggle in some of the early MLB The Show games. But as pitching changes and goes to more of a north-south style, it clicks a little bit more. That is low for a ball. Good patient at bat here, fouling off a couple pitches to stay alive. A couple good takes here to even up the count, 2-2. That is fouled away. I think he thought he got a little bit more of that one, but just kind of yanked it foul. 2-2 yet again. Here's the line and the pitch. That's foul the other way. That's foul. 2-2. And hit to the third baseman, caught on the fly, which always feels like a bit of a surprise, but hey, It's 1 out. Chase Utley is 0 for 1. He'll step up to the plate to face the lefty with 1 gone. And he'll take a strike at the knees. 0-1. That's low for a ball. That's fouled away. 1-2.
Foul ball.
And that's going to be hit over to the second baseman. Scoops it cleanly. Took about 8 taps to the glove there for whatever reason, but just like, I really got to make sure I have the good grip here. Over to first. In time for out number 2. Twins down to their final out. Honestly, not really putting up much of a fight. It makes you kind of wonder how this game even got to extras in the first place. I mean, the game was very rude to the Twins in the top of the 4th. First run Detroit scores, absolutely. That's in for a strike. And then you turn the double play and you go, okay, Twins out of this, no problem. The game said, no, no, no. No, no, no. 0-1 to Molina. Winds and fires and drives it foul. Doesn't really have... Well, maybe it had the distance if it was straightened out a little bit. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is sliced foul. Foul ball. Destroyed a hot fudge sundae. It is a foul ball. 0-2. Final strike for the Twins to Molina. Fouled away. We'll do it again. And that'll be lifted. Shortstop comes in, waits for it to drop, and that will do it. Detroit wins this one 4-0 in 4. 3 games go to extra innings. We have one of our longest episodes or days of the season. 3 extra inning games. 2 of them go 6. And even the one that was in regulation still had a very long top of the 3rd as the Angels piled on 6 runs. Whew. Carl Pavano is your player of the game. 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts on the day. He improves to 10-5. Fausto Carmona falls to 9-5. Pavano 10-5. Carmona 9-5. And that will do it. Detroit 4, Minnesota 0. Twins eke out just 3 runs in a series they get swept in. Detroit, we'll take a look at the wild card standings real quick, because those are the only ones that are interesting. The other 5 of the 6 divisions, I believe, are accounted for as far as the champion. The only division that doesn't have a champion off the top of my head is the NL West. I think we had 2 going into the day, but because of the White Sox loss, the Royals win. We will sim to the date. The Phillies are interested in offering you a trade. View offer. Sure. Oh, I don't want any of that. Do you wish to decline? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So the trade deadline hasn't happened, so the game doesn't adjust like that at all. Okay, weird. All right. Toronto beats the Mariners 4-3. Oh, we need to actually catch up on a couple of scores. I knew there was something I was missing here. We watched through Twins Tigers. Oh, we need the last batch. Did we get the... Yeah, we did. Okay, we just need that the Mets... Hey, they continue. The Mets have won 14 games in a row. They win 3-2 over the Brewers. And the Blue Jays win 4-3 over the Mariners. Taking a very quick look at the standings. The American League wild card is separated by just a game. Athletics, they've lost 2 in a row. The White Sox, they've lost 4 in a row. The Angels have won 8. giving themselves that outside shot of making the playoffs. The Tigers are back too. The win today helps. We'll see what happens. They're going to need a lot of help in front of them. But hey, who knows? They've also been outscored by 23 runs. I don't want the Tigers to win. That's mean, but oh my goodness. They're under 500. They would finish 42 and... No. Yeah, they finished 42 and 40. Okay. Over in, so the East, man. Diamondbacks lead by 3 games. A win tomorrow would secure them the National League West. We will likely watch that game just to see if they can do it. Or a Rockies loss would secure them the win or the division as well. In the wild card, the Mets lead the Marlins by a game. The Rockies, Padres back by 2. That would be the limit of teams that are going to be in it, because 4 games back is too many games. So Mets are getting kind of just into a point of if they win, they are in. It has taken a mammoth miracle of 14 games in a row that they've won to be in this position. Turns out, hey, a 14-game win streak counterbalances a 6-game losing streak to start the season, which is wild. That will do it here for today, July 1st, 2011, on youtube.com/ShaunosaurusRex and twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex. Thank you, everybody, so much for hanging out. If you haven't already, on YouTube, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe. It's free over there. Follow along on Twitch for more live stream stuff. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get this to stream on just Twitch, but not YouTube, so I can plan some other things out. And then, yeah. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I don't want it to kick into a different live stream video. Save is complete. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, noon Pacific time, for March Mascot Madness Day 2. We will also be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time for more baseball here in MLB 11 The Show. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll catch you later. Goodbye, everybody.